UVA had joined members of the football team on a field trip and set off a manhunt after the shooting, running off the bus once it returned to campus. He was arrested hours later, 80 miles away outside Richmond.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Jones is held without bond after appearing in court last week. He has not yet entered a plea. The U.S. transportation chief pledging to hold airlines accountable if too many flights are canceled or delayed over the holidays.
We live in a world, especially with Midwestern weather, where the cancellation rate's never going to be zero. But when it gets as high as 3 or 4%, which is what we saw in the summer, that is enough to cascade through the system, and it can take days to recover.
Secretary Pete Buttigieg also urging travelers to let the government know if they're entitled to refunds and don't get them. Hundreds of soccer fans left scrambling to get into the World Cup matches in Qatar after a problem with electronic tickets that were supposed to show up on their smartphones.
FIFA, the governing body of soccer in the World Cup, stated some spectators are currently experiencing an issue with accessing their tickets via the FIFA ticketing app. They say FIFA is working on solving the issue. Some fans looked at their app only to notice their electronic World Cup tickets were not there. Many were instructed to go to the Doha Exhibition and Convention Center in the West Bay section of Doha, where hundreds were seen lined up in an attempt to try to get their tickets, actual hard copy tickets, to then make the trip back to the stadium in hopes of getting in to watch some soccer. Jared Max, Fox News.
Recapping Wall Street, stocks finished lower. The Dow down 45, the NASDAQ tumbling more than 1%. And Lisa Brady, this is Fox News.
Farewell ANZ Bank. You've been an excellent corporate citizen for 30-plus years. And yes, we're competitors, but we're sorry to see you go. Now let us address the bank's customers. Bank Pacific's arms are wide open to accept your banking needs, whether it be to handle your savings, commercial checking, merchant business, or consumer or commercial loan needs. We're open on Saturdays in 4 convenient locations and have excellent online banking services. And we're staying, for as you might know, where others put branches, we place roots. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. Officers observed a car blocking traffic on Route 16 in Harmon around midnight on Sunday. Numerous vehicles were honking their horns and driving around the vehicle. Officers noted the vehicle did not have its headlights on and didn't proceed forward when the light turned green. The driver was identified to be 48-year-old Therios Kekin, who appeared to be sleeping. After numerous attempts, the officer was able to wake him up and observed Kekin had bloodshot eyes, slurred speech, and strong odor of alcohol. An open beer can that was half full was found in the center console. Kekin agreed to a field sobriety test and failed. No horizontal gaze nystagmus test was performed due to Kekin only having one eye. He was charged with driving while impaired and possession of an open container. And more hearings are to take place today for Bill 112, legislation intended to amend Guam's controversial Medical Malpractice Mandatory Arbitration Act. Proponents for change argue that arbitration costs deter legitimate malpractice claims from coming forward. The medical community had largely opposed Bill 112. Their concerns include the potential loss of certain care for patients because doctors will either close shop or curtail their practice to limit the risk of getting sued. Some doctors acknowledged that cost is an issue, but argued that the measure was not the means to resolve that problem. It appears that the medical community remains opposed to the bill. A release states personal injury lawyers will be far more likely to file claims if they do not have to advance the costs and fees of arbitration. Bill 112 will result in an exodus of medical professionals from Guam and will create such a toxic environment that any specialist will think twice about even considering Guam as a location to work. Members of the medical community have scheduled a press conference today at the Guam Congress Building. More news after this.
News this hour is brought to you by the friendly and hardworking folks at Hafaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, Lolita, and their team of professionals. Contact Hafaday Realty for all your real estate needs. Call 671-989-0008 or email hafadayrealty@gmail.com. They are located at 426 Chelan San Antonio, Suite 204, Timaning, and open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. Hafaday Realty thanks you for your support in Pica's Best of 2022.
The Guam Solid Waste Authority is looking to keep contracting sanitation worker jobs through a private company for another 3 years. The agency wants the PUC to approve a $2 million contract to make that happen. The petition states that sanitation workers have about a 38% turnover rate in the agency. Approval from the PUC is needed for procurement costs totaling more than $1 million. The agency intends to award the contract to Pacific Human Resources Services after a competitive bid process was completed. Solid Waste General Manager Irvin Slike says they're trying to wean themselves off the practice of keeping contract workers. Slike says he thinks the PUC will recognize the current situation. The agency is down to 5 working trucks and employees working double shifts. The PUC will likely address the petition on Tuesday, November 29. And GPA says the failed procurement protest, which derailed a 40-megawatt solar farm on military land in Derrida, will cost Guam power customers more than $100 million in lost savings. As GPA prepares to solicit proposals for 180 megawatts of renewable energy projects, it will ask Guam lawmakers to change the procurement law to make it more difficult for losing bidders to protest awards. GPA General Manager John Beneventi told the CCU last week that they are not against local preferences or protests, but he wants to protect ratepayers and thinks it's too skewed the other way. NG Solar, the winning bidder for the new solar farm, backed out several months ago, stating it no longer could guarantee its bid price of 11 cents per kilowatt hour because of the years-long delay in getting the project started. After the NG project fell through, GPA also lost access to the Derrida land, which the military could use instead for part of its new missile defense system. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Roger that. 10 after 7 o'clock in the morning. Some interesting stuff that you've got there. $110 million worth of potential savings for the consumers around here just on this deal alone. And like I said, where there are other places that are having the similar kind of issues in Hawaii, they've got the story that went out. What's that? Cockfighting ban challenge in U.S. territories has been dismissed. All right, maybe more on that in a second. But I'm looking for a particular story in the Hawaii Free Press where they're talking about don't use a whole lot of electricity on what island is this? Hawaii, the Big Island. Hawaii Island customers asked to reduce electricity use from 5 until 9 o'clock tonight. They're sending out the word Hawaiian Electric asking Hawaii Island customers to limit their use of electricity. The need for conservation is prompted by the unavailability of several large generators. In addition, wind resources are forecast to be lower than usual. Their steam generator Hill 6 offline due to emergency repairs. Keahole Power Plant steam turbine annual maintenance work continues. In addition, there's a whole unit at Hamakua Energy, an independent power producer, remains offline due to, quote, unexpected issues. Combined, these units usually supply about 66 megawatts of power. The evening peak demand is when electricity use is highest. Using less electricity from 5 to 9 helps ensure enough power is available during those hours. Conservation methods include turn off air conditioners, unnecessary lighting, shutting off water heaters, and delaying activities like, cooking for your family, showering, laundry, and dishwashing. Large commercial customers, including government, hotels, and retail, were asked to voluntarily reduce electricity use. So this is one of those things. Cy and I get into the conversation every once in a while. It's great. You start looking around and go, we got the solar power over here. What happens when there's no sun, like at night? Or we've got the wind power over here. We've got one of those wind power things out in Cross Island Road, right?
I think we did.
Have you ever seen it go around?
At one time it did slow,
but I don't know that it ever.
Think it's broken right now.
So I guess the point is you don't put all of your eggs in one basket here. We got to take care of the majority of the population around here that just wants to be able to have clean and reliable electricity that comes from a plant that they're building just for me up in the north end. 7:13 in the morning. Promise you guys some weather. Here it comes now. Mostly sunny skies, and you can see some of those sunny skies starting start to come up at Jeff's Pirates Cove. Highs near 87 degrees. East-northeast winds up to about 10 miles an hour. Expect some isolated showers today, partly cloudy skies. And overnight lows of about 76 degrees. I'll put it to you this way. It's going to be hot, guys. Mostly sunny. Highs near 87 degrees. And east-northeast winds up to about 10 miles an hour. Tonight, partly cloudy and obviously a little bit cooler. We've got partly sunny in the forecast for Thanksgiving Day, Thanksgiving night, partly cloudy as well. Sunset tonight is going to be at 5:50. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together on the point.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuini. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut Home Water Softener System for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Pacific Points is more rewarding with friends. Get 100 bonus points for every friend you refer that signs up and earns points. Both you and your friends will enjoy awesome perks like discounts on Shell fuel, rebates on your IT&E bills, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. Plus, earn more points to upgrade your membership tier and enjoy even more exclusive rewards. Learn more at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Will do. 7:15, Ray Gibson Show brought to you by APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the guys over at Wendy's. And it's a different answer every day, but here's what they want you to get there. It is the new bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. It's a super special deal for $4. You get all that, plus a small seasoned potatoes featuring fresh cracked eggs, oven-baked bacon, savory sausage, and hot and crispy potatoes. You're not going to want to put this down. You practically inhale the thing. It's a great deal. And behind every great deal at Wendy's, an even greater breakfast. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Rediscover talk radio here. It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
So, 7:16 in the morning. FYI, we're back on Facebook and thepoint.gu. Wasn't able to get the YouTube thing up. Too many moving parts to do that. But we've got the stream back up, and the audio seems to be coming from the right places. Actually, coming from the microphone of the microphone, not the microphone of the camera, and that's good. And just in time, I got some blurbs here from my friends over at Beyond the Box. We'll say 7:16 is Beyond the Box time, and they've got Black Friday coming up, and they've got incredible Black Friday savings on all kinds of stuff. I go with the high-end MacBook Air 13-incher is now $13.99. That's down from $15.99. MacBook Air 13-inch with the M2 chip, 512 gigabytes on board, $1,699. You want an Apple Watch Series 7? All right, get the big one. The 45 millimeter is only $399. Both flavors of the Apple TV AirTags, which are great. All kinds of great prices on Apple Watch bands. You're starting to see more people running around with these. They're shocks, and the way they work is they're bone induction headphones. So they Bluetooth, so you can use your audio and phones and things like that. But instead of going inside your ear, they tap into a part of your skull right around here. And the idea is that
it good, Ray.
Yes, I know. It does, and it sounds good, and it vibrates and will transmit sound through your bones into the small little tiny bones in your ears, and it is astonishing. Really, how good it sounds and how loud these things can get. They got all kinds of Bluetoothy things from Marshall, cases that you need if you're like me and kind of klutzy with your phones. 50% off gimbals. They've got Styli. We've got a bunch of little tiny headphones that go inside your ear. And available on Black Friday, they've got, the Galaxy A03S. And the Galaxy A13 will be in on Friday, which is Black Friday. And so if you're working in the government of Guam and you're going to be doing Black Friday, congratulations. The mall says open at 6 a.m. until 10 o'clock on Black Friday, November the 25th. And they're going to be able to get all of that stuff taken care of for you. Super savings, 20%, 50% on Black Friday. We will probably not see any of that because we'll be slaving away behind these hot microphones in the studio.
Wait. I thought you and I were going to go get in line over there.
We can. But one of us is going to have to be here to do the broadcast and see what happens. Now, broadcast online, I got to do shouts to, and God bless you. This is why we ask you to like and follow the Facebook page. That way, when we get back on or whenever the feed starts, you'll get a message that says, hey, we got a new feed starting on The Point. So here's what Henry Manglotnia heard that and came back. Marie Kingat, Ruth Litton, beautiful Valine Iriarte is there. I got Henry Manglotnia, M.T. Farron, James Bondo, Brendan Fausto. Kevin Rowe says, I enjoyed Ray Gibson and Rochelle Guam, 1986. Thanks for just being you, brother. I appreciate that, Kev. Pam Duvall online. That's the hot sis of the program. I got Arnold Manaig. That's my bro from over at the mall. Tommy Bernardo, Sandra Regis, Biba. Cousin Troy is online. Cuz, you got any interesting updates on any scandalous news that's taking place here? It's always good to have you there, bro. Carl Meyer, Randy Landis is checking in. I got Melissa Salas Akimoto. That's her phone. Just FYI, because I said out loud one day, is that really you, Melissa, or is that really Vince using your phone?
Doc, call me.
Right? Yeah, Doc. Melissa, could you do me a favor? Could you tell your husband to check his WhatsApp? I need a refill. He knows what it's about. Jan Guevara is on, so is Jeff Pirates Cove. Bro, Eric Ada, Elizabeth Mendiola Kitsutsu, Feltan from over at Beyond the Box. I got Mike Grace Bloss, Kim Aiken, Hopper Brown. Kim, every once in a while I get to hear him sing loud rock and roll and speak with a very, very good Chamorro accent that I think he got in either Rhoda or Tinian back in the day. But he's up at the VFW. Post Canteen says no winner on Friday for the Queen of Hearts. This coming Black Friday, there will be another drawing at 7 o'clock. Could win yourself some easy money there. William Brandshagen. Hey, Brandy, good to have you on. Frank Santos. Detwin Kitsutsu, Juanita Machi. I got Colin Clark on. Galo Perez. Every once in a while, I'd call him at his office and say, excuse me, I'd like to speak to Galo. And the lady would go, you got Luke S.N. Angel and Chandra Sharma checking in on the program this morning. Good to have everybody back online, 20 after 7 o'clock. And there's still so much to talk about. Anybody having a baby? Oh, it's too late for Colin. Him and Jericho already had the baby. There's a new color. I saw this floating around somewhere on the social media and didn't pay any attention to it because I'm not having any babies. But if you know somebody that is, what are the chances that they're going to be painting the room blue? If it's a boy.
Oh, yeah.
Or wait a second. Blue is girl, right? Red is boy?
No, pink.
Pink is girl.
It's a girl.
Is girl. Yeah. Pink can be for boys now too.
It can,
because if you depending on which Facebook, which Twitter sites
real
you
babies
follow.
wear pink.
Anyway, no. Actually, the new color is this is ratified now, beige. Because it's neutral, I guess. It is dominating baby gear space thanks to influencers zeroing in on it. Many parents are ditching the gendered baby blue and light pink in favor of beige, and the designers of baby clothing and supplies are rising to meet them in neutral territory. Baby Gap now has a beige section. The Easy Peasy line of clothing from Walmart has beige, and Etsy has said that searches for beige kids' clothes has gone up 67% in the last 12 months compared to the 12 months prior. Does that not, in my mind, that sounds kind of like it could be, I don't know, some kind of a joke that people are playing on New Wave parents. What's that? Why confuse your baby with colors in the nursery? Just go with beige.
The color should be transparent.
It's a prison color.
It should be simply clear.
Is that what it is? Just so you can see the concrete right below everything?
Well, now just think about that.
Yeah.
If you use transparent, imagine, the big thing now is these gender reveal things.
Yes.
These gender reveal parties. And they'll shoot off these things that have blue smoke or they'll have pink smoke or something. Now, can you imagine if they use transparent color? They'd shoot off Nothing.
It's like when the
And you
Vatican,
couldn't tell what it
the
is.
Vatican, we don't know. We don't have a pope yet here.
Yeah.
There's black smoke. Sorry about that. Or is it white smoke? 7:22 in the morning. Jerry Roberts coming in with the extra point in just a second. Let's go quickly through some numbers, though, on the markets and see how we've done. Oh, let's not, because it's ugly here. NASDAQ dropped 121.55 points. You know why? Because Trump let Twitter back in. Or wait, Twitter let Trump back on.
Yeah.
And Kanye. And the Veritas Project. S&P 500 drifting down by 15 points, 39.49. NASDAQ off, like I said, by 121. They closed at 11,024. Dow Jones Industrial Average, not so bad, off by 45 points, which is hardly the basis for any percentage that they got, just too small. 33,700 is where they ended up. Nikkei up by 45. FTSE down by 8. Shanghai off by 336. No, I'm sorry, that's the Hang Seng Index. The Shanghai Index is down, but only by 12 points. VIX off by less than a point, and the DAX closes down 51 points. Big loser today is the NASDAQ. And at the top of that, Ross, Verisk Analytical, Walgreens, American Electronics, and PepsiCo round out the top five. Bottom five, Lucid, Tesla, JD.com, CGen, and Marvell Technologies. Remember, we talked about Marvell Technology. Chip makers, not comic book people, just FYI. Tesla, as I said, down around the bottom five. People wondering what's going on. They only lost $12, but red is red for a lot of people. All right, on to the other components of the markets. Oil, $79.74. I had not seen that yet. I was chasing down some other stuff. It's under $80 a barrel.
Wow.
By 34 cents, it's under $80 a barrel. This is good news.
How about Tapas?
Don't have a Tapas number. Thanks for asking.
It won't be 79.
Probably won't be 79. What did I say it was yesterday? It was 80. No. 91, I think, is where it was yesterday. Gold today at 1740, and let me just quickly look and see where the Japanese yen is. 142.11. Not getting a whole lot better. In fact, you get more yen in exchange for that dollar as you make your way out there this morning. And guys like Jerry Paris say, well, maybe that's among the reasons why it's difficult to get Japanese on an airplane to come to Guam, despite the fact that we've got a food truck in Osaka that Carl Gutierrez is driving around. Is still we've got to deal with other international factors like the price of the yen to the dollar. That is a factor. Jerry also points out, interestingly enough, in the article in today's PDN, that it might be just the same way that we're looking at that, going, "Hey, my dollar is going to go a whole lot further in Japan." The Koreans are going, "Hey, our won is going to go a whole lot farther than it used to before. So let's go there instead of going to Guam. It's a shorter flight. The food looks the same. The people look for the most part the same as us.
But it's not temperature-wise the same.
No, certainly not temperature-wise the same. I was thinking about that the other day. A friend of mine, Dave, just came back from a stateside trip, and he was like, "Yeah, can't tell you how happy I am to be back in the land of sticky rice and soy sauce, and the humidity and the heat that comes and gets you the second they open the door on that United flight."
That's right.
Here it comes. Okay, I'm home now, and you just start to rinse yourself off. But he says, yeah, he was traveling in the States, and when he first got there, it was a long trip. When he first got there, he says, yeah, it was kind of nice, it was coming out of this, and all of a sudden fall ended and winter came, and it was like, okay, this trip is now over. Let's get me to Guam. Good to have you back there, buddy. I think that's all the numbers that we like to look at. Were you able to get a Bitcoin number for me?
15,800.
Whoa, 15,800. So the whales dead? Are they circling around? Are the dead cats bouncing? Jerry Roberts, do you have any indication?
It's called beaching. They're beaching.
The whales are not dead, but the sharks are out.
Is that what it is? Oh, it's 7:26 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. Jerry Roberts has got. You're going to get a lot of Jerry Roberts today. It's Tuesday, kind of a random Tuesday. I don't know what the schedule is anymore in the Guam Daily Post, but they have found a way to get Jerry Roberts in print. The Work Zone, and today's Work Zone theme is develop a strong leader bench.
Yep.
That presumes that you might have more than one or two candidates to sit on that bench.
Hopefully.
Is it okay with just the one guy?
A lot of people have just
the
one
guy.
Just the one person. That's it, yeah.
If you want to find out more about that, pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. In the meantime, Jerry Roberts is on with a very special Extra Point brought to you by... what?
Well, a lot of people... Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
I was going to say brought to us by First Hawaiian Bank.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't really into the Twitter thing. They don't really care one way or the other. But some folks are because of different reasons. Could be political reasons. Could be because they kind of like Elon Musk. Could be because they like freedom of speech. There's a lot that goes into this. So we put together a couple of days' worth of this to try to explain some of the things going on at Twitter and why. And maybe we'll come away with a better understanding of where this thing is all headed.
Because it's already cost him $44 billion.
Not exactly.
And now it's $4 million a day.
The stock price has gone up, apparently, 40%, I heard. That the value of Twitter has increased by 40% since he took it over, since he signed his name.
Has not been on my watch list. I'll take a look at that while you do this.
That's what I was told. Okay, maybe you've been following the unfolding story of Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter and its rocky transition under his leadership. Now, I may end up with some different feelings about this in time, but I want to share a few thoughts about what we can learn here, and that's coming next on The Extra Point.
Take your business to new heights with the United Business Credit Card. Earn 30,000 bonus miles after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Plus, earn 3 times the miles per $1 spent on United tickets through United until April 30th, 2023, and 2 times the miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to FHB.com United Business for more information and to apply for your United Business Credit Card today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Hafaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
So let's start with the basics. Why did Elon Musk want Twitter? His letter to Twitter advertisers says this: to have a common digital town square where a wide range of beliefs can be debated in a healthy manner, unquote. Facebook can't really do that at this point, so Twitter has the inside path to achieving this goal. To those who say that Twitter will become the headquarters of hate speech, Musk was clear when he said, again quoting, Twitter can't be a free-for-all hellscape where anything can be said with no consequences. There will be standards. He has been called a threat to democracy by all of the usual liberal voices, as if controlling media and social media so only one viewpoint, the one put forth by the liberal Democrats fronting for the elite of the world, is somehow better than that. Musk is lining up to become a protector of democracy. What he is a threat against is the liberal stronghold that controls media, the tech sector other than him, and the corporate elitists. Musk says the buyout of Twitter is all about bettering humanity, not making money. Well, what he wants for Twitter may well benefit people, but he's going to make an enormous profit at the same time. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Helping humanity will cost money, and Musk first has to stop the losses, tabbed at $4 million a day. That's $1.5 billion if you're counting in a year. Now, that's job one, clean things up and return to profit. To do that, Musk got rid of people who had created the mess in the first place. He fired the executive leadership team and then dissolved the board of directors. Now, that is exactly what you would do if it was your money and your decision to make. Don't shed a tear for the 3 executives who got bounced. The last report I saw indicated that they cashed out to the tune of $200 million plus. He then brought his tech team in from Tesla to look under the hood at Twitter's engine, the software, what was good, what was bad, what changes are needed. He cut payroll in areas that made sense. He fired half of the total Twitter staff. Twitter employees tweeted out their negative opinions of Musk and that they didn't feel they could work for him. He made their decision for them easier. He fired them as well. Publicly berating your boss is not a way to ensure job security. Just saying. To the rest of the Twitter workforce, he made the same speech he had given to his Tesla team. No more remote work. Now, why would he do that? To be mean? No. Musk's businesses rely heavily upon innovation. He knows that creative people do more and better creating when they are in the presence of each other. That fact cannot be denied. It made sense for the automobile company, and it would make sense for Twitter. Now, wouldn't you want the same thing? Musk then sent all remaining employees a midnight email, giving them 24 hours to decide if they wanted to be a part of Twitter 2.0, That would require long hours and high-intensity work. Again, same thing he did at Tesla. Now, for those who refused, they got 3-month severance pay and goodbye. He was blasted by the media for this. And I couldn't have given him 3 days or a week or a month. I think the thing here, he was making a point. Here I am. You know how I do things. You either want to be a part of it or not, so decide now. If Musk was about style points, maybe it would all have been done differently. Instead, he made it clear that the old ways were over. He wasn't wishy-washy about it, and I think he did the employees a favor by being so blunt. So let's recap, highlighting the moves that any reasonably intelligent business person would make once acquiring a company. Number one, remove the leadership that had driven the company to its negative position. Check. Number two, bring in proven experts who know business and technology and come up with a plan to move forward. Check. Number three, stop the losses. Expenses exceeded revenues by $4 million a day. You have to reduce costs any way you can. That means a lower payroll and cutting things like free food for everybody. Check. Number four, get rid of those employees who are fighting you in public and give the others a chance to stay, figuring that most should be able to make a quick decision. Check. And number five, end the censorship and let it be known that freedom of speech is once again alive and well at Twitter. Get on track to becoming that digital town square that Musk mentioned. Ultimately, that's the only winning position to have. Check. Now, like I said, Musk may not get a total A grade on style points, but if you want to turn things around as quickly as possible, I can't imagine not doing all of these things that he did. Now, tomorrow, we'll give you an idea, at least from what I've been able to glean from many sources, about where Musk may be taking Twitter and why. That's the extra point. Be responsible and make something good happen today for 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show, and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
The amusing thing was to listen to Jerry Roberts and read Elon Musk's tweets and their responses while you were doing the extra point. Just a couple of hours ago, Elon Musk typed into the Twitter, "Hope all judgy hall monitors stay on other platforms. Please, I'm begging you." And naturally, the judgy hall monitors couldn't resist and have flooded that with all kinds of comments of one kind or another.
He baits them incessantly.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
He's having the greatest time doing these things.
Every day there is a great new Elon Musk story. The day before it was CBS leaving. CBS, sorry, it's the platform. And then they came right back.
It was
a security issue or something like that. We're okay. No, we're back now into the Twitterverse.
But did you see what he did after that?
I did. I saw the emoji.
To welcome them back.
The emoji.
I can't get enough of you. I can't leave you. Something like that.
And even CNBC, if you do a search for Twitter, which I did, comes up with all kinds of the stories that have been Twitter and Elon Musk relevant in the last 48 hours. Civil rights leaders condemn Musk decision to lift Trump's Twitter ban. Wasn't his decision. It was the Twitter voters. It was the Twitter universe. 15 million people voted.
But the civil rights leaders.
Civil rights leaders.
Imagine this.
Yeah, you would think if there was anybody out there that was really had a vested interest in preserving, I don't know, most of the amendments, it would be them. Kanye returns to Twitter with a shalom post after previous restriction for what has been referred to as anti-Semitic remarks. Trump snubs Twitter after Musk announces reactivation of the ex-president's account. Well, Trump has not said I'm back on Twitter just yet. He says, well, I got my own. I got Truth. But people are still following. As soon as he became available to follow again on Twitter, his numbers went up to something like 88 million in a heartbeat. Absolutely crazy.
There's nothing like Twitter.
No.
There's no other social media that comes close. They have more impact than any newspaper, than any television network, than any single television channel. There's nothing like it in the world, and the size that they've got, impact, they're all going to come back.
You got to kind of equate it to the way that things had been taken up in the past. You think about how long it took radio to get to 88 million listeners in the United States. Is there such a thing? Television, 88 million viewers of anything. The Twitter universe is huge. It didn't take it all that much time to get to where they are. Anyway, 7:37 in the morning. Jerry Robertson, the Extra Point. If you can't get enough of him, then by all means pick up a copy of today's Guam Daily Post. The clock is ticking. We are now at 22nd of the month. Yeah, and another week or so.
Another week
from the
today.
Live to Lead.
Yes, sir. A week from today.
Get your tickets.
Get the tickets.
Get the seats. 7:37.
Yes,
wow, 7:37. Time for us to take a look at what's going on in the world of news and headlines. Donna D's got all of that sorted out for you, and it is brought to you by Burger King. Get your free kids tickets at BK for the Super American Circus Winterland show. That starts November the 24th through the holidays at the usual spots. Also being brought to you by the guys over at HolidayRealty@gmail.com. We'll start with their email today. You can also call them if you've got one of those phone things. 588-4232 for all of your hardworking needs, real estate needs. It's the hardworking folks at Holiday Realty. Now with news and headlines, the hardworking Donna D.
2 men convicted in separate killings are appealing their cases in Supreme Court. Joshua Palacios was found guilty of murder and is serving life in prison for the July 2019 deadly shooting of Keith Castro in Chigo. The second appeal was filed by Juan Mendiola, who was found guilty of manslaughter for the 2020 deadly shooting of Peter Rios in Mongmong. Both men will be back in court in mid-December. And GFD search and rescue units searched the waters near the Port Authority's Hotel Wharf after a report of an unattended dive buoy was made about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. GFD spokesperson Nick Garrido says the operation was called off at 12:30 that afternoon after a thorough search of the area revealed negative findings. A GFD drone was deployed along with rescue divers and surface swimmers to search the area near the buoy. Garrido says Port Police participated in a shoreline search and verified that there were no unattended vehicles in the area. And Public Health is urging the community to get vaccinated for COVID now while it's free. Interim Chief Medical Officer Dr. Robert Leon Guerrero says COVID vaccines and boosters are free as long as Guam is in a public health emergency. He adds that once the public health emergency is over, they may start charging for the vaccines and the monoclonal antibodies. And those are your local headlines. Back to radio.
I'm sorry, it's magnetic. You can't take your eyes off of it. There's Israel. Apparently, the country of Israel had tweeted, "We would very much like to be excluded from this narrative." And then it's a picture of Kanye's tweet that says "Shalom" on it. Very, very, yeah. It's going to be like that, kid. 7:40 in the morning. News and weather, and we'll take care of traffic together in just a sec.
Federal employees and annuitants, it's time to choose your 2023 health plan. Choose Take Care. Open season is November 14th through December 12th. Take Care's on-island network includes GRMC, SDA, GRC, FHP, and over 1 million providers off-island with positive benefit enhancements that expand access to care. Go to takecareasia.com/openseason22 or call 671-647-3526. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Now at your favorite Burger King locations, the new Ghost Pepper Whopper. Our Ghost Pepper Whopper is made with a quarter-pound flame grilled beef, spicy queso sauce, crispy bacon, ghost pepper cheese, crispy jalapenos on a warm orange bun with black sesame seeds. See if you can handle the heat of the new Ghost Pepper Whopper. Make it a meal with french fries or jalapeno bites and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Now available for a limited time only at participating Burger King locations. Tumon Bay, Agatia, Micronesia Mall, and Airport. You rule.
Want more internet speed, more mobile data, more TV, and more reliable phone service? Introducing the new GTA Choice Bundles. The more you choose, the more you save. And for a limited time, sign up for a new Choice Bundle with home internet service up to Internet 50 and get a free Roku Express. Or Internet 75 or higher and receive a $100 account credit. Visit GTA.net and get more choices, more savings with GTA's Choice Bundles. Conditions apply. See website for details. GTA, we start with you.
In 19 minutes, it'll be, 8 o'clock in the morning? Let me see if I can. I don't think I'll be able to get this up on the screen, but I'll be able to see it. And you know what? I think I'll be able to translate it as good as or better as the visual cues that you have when you can see the map. Wait a second. See, that pops up. instead of the map. So what have I got here? A little bit of traffic up at Anderson Air Force Base main gate, southbound Marine Corps Drive, busy in the usual spots. You'll see that just before you get to Waisangsong, but really nothing happening there. A little bit of intersection traffic until you get to 1 and 3. Now, if you're on 3 trying to get to 1, it is the standard morning Vale of Tears that you're going to run into there. 8, 10, and 16 running a little bit busy. Not terrible right now, just busy enough at about 7:43. We got a little bit of traffic at 4 and 10. And what looks like a little bit of traffic starting to get busy over by the church and on your way to the intersection of 10 and 15. Inbound traffic, Route 8 is better than inbound traffic on Route 4 at this point. Things look like they want to clog up and jam around the Ordot and Sinahanya area, but you should be through that fairly quick. Southbound Marine Corps Drive all the way to Big Navy and Sumai. Actually, intersection at 1 and 2 is maybe the best-looking intersection on Guam today. And how many of you have taken that turn on Epal Road over by the intersection of 76 Circle K? I just want to go to the Hilton. I'm just going to go to the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Beach Park called Epal. I'm just going to go down there, and you make it all the way through, and you realize, crap, I got to turn around.
Yeah.
How often? Once or twice? Is it? Have you down? You're going down that road. You're going. Okay. Maybe they're done with the construction now. Maybe they're going to be finished, and I'll be able to go all the way down. Nope. Sorry about that. It's going to be like that. I think for another 11 or 12 months. So be prepared for the extended delay and those forgetful reruns that you've got to do. 7:43 on the point. Be right back.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
It's not an accident to live a healthy, long life. It's a choice. The food you eat, the water you drink, the air you breathe. A deep, restful sleep along with exercise will put you on a good path to live a healthier, longer life. At NutraWay Systems, we choose to help people find the right solutions to live a longer, healthier life. Make the right choice. NutraWay Systems. Come by our office today. We are located on the second floor of the Daily Plaza in Dededo, or give us a call at 671-864-7867.
Sounds like a Devo song from a long time ago. Maybe that's why I like it so much. Hey, 744, Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-888-TALK is the telephone number. And I was asking about, how close we were to the jackpot for the Queen of Hearts thing over at VFW. They did not get a winner last week. So on Black Friday night, about 7 o'clock, they will do a drawing, and that drawing could net you almost $4,000. And if you're looking for another excuse to get out to the VFW, they've got a Thanksgiving luncheon that's going to take place on Thanksgiving Day at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We've got the turkey, the ham, the smashed potato. There's stuffing in there, sweet potatoes, candied carrots, macaroni salad, gravy. All the stuff that the Chamorro Indians were giving to the pilgrims when they came here all those years ago and celebrated that first Chamorro Thanksgiving. Do you remember?
Yeah, the purple potato.
Yes. It says if you'd like to bring a dish, then bring it by. It says, thank you very much. I don't know. I've asked Brian if he could get, is there a charge? Because it doesn't say anything. It doesn't say there's no price or anything like this. Or is this just, it's our annual, it's the Thanksgiving, it's our way of giving back to the customers and everybody that comes and tolerates us, on Queen of Hearts night. I don't know, but I'll find out. And if there is a charge, I'll let you know. Otherwise, make plans to be out there and enjoy it. I started the morning show off with a joke, which was, take the turkey out of the freezer, stick it in the refrigerator, and because it takes a while for the bird to thaw. Now, I don't know if you need to thaw it quite as long as you did before. The story that we got was there are turkeys to be bought on Guam. You just might have a hard time finding massive turkeys because there was the flu, supply chain issues, all of that stuff, and they ended up having to cull. I think it was in the millions of poultry, including turkeys, and so they had a bunch of adolescent turkeys. And they had to kill them So they had to start all over again from the turkey egg, and they weren't able to get big enough before they come to market, and that is the problem that we are seeing here today. So it might be one of those things. Maybe you could take out the turkey tomorrow, and that's enough time for it to thaw in the refrigerator. And then there's the other way. This is the Ray Gibson way of thawing the bird.
Oh, here we go. Dishwasher.
Big bucket. Get the big towel, you know?
Yeah.
You get and then you fill it with warm water, and then you put the bird in there, and you just kind of check it every once in a while and see when it starts getting soft enough to stick in the oven, and that ought to be sufficient. You know, that's the way I've always done it before, and near as I can tell, nobody has had to report to Guam Memorial Hospital to get their stomach pumped as a result of eating turkey over at my place. And then on the other side of that, we cannot have the conversation, and it comes up regularly. You can get any 5 random guys together. Think about this: 5 random guys. Go to Home Depot and try this. You get 5 random guys together and say recipes for cooking turkeys, and one guy will say, "Y'all ever try a fried turkey?" Yes. And even if you're from here, you'll still say y'all. It'll still come out with a little bit of a draw. Yeah. The whole thing. I've had fried turkey. I had the fire department come take care of that fried turkey one year. It came to explode like a YouTube video. Oh, crazy. But my brother, who's the braver of the two of us, has got the gizmo for frying turkeys, and every once in a while he will favor us with it's always a good sign when you go to his house and you see the big container of the peanut oil.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because you go, okay, that means we're frying stuff today. Good. Oh man, yeah, it changed your life. It will absolutely change your life if you can. But there's a ton of other videos and recipes that are floating around on the internet. 7:48 in the morning, Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-5888-TALK. We talked with Doug Moylan in the last hour. In case you missed it, Doug and I went through a little bit about what the expectations are going to be for tomorrow over at the Guam Election Commission. They are going to be doing accounts. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that they've got to do, but part of the drill at the Guam Election Commission tomorrow is going to be figuring out what the count is for how many provisional ballots we're going to honor and how many of these off-island ballots that have come in are going to be added to whoever's tally in the election. And it's probably close enough that we're pretty much going to have some kind of a recount here and a final determination of who is going to be the Attorney General. Doug Moylan has gotten the most votes, but he has not yet been certified by the Guam Election Commission. That won't happen until after all of the votes are tallied. And it's close. It's 77. Was the difference between one and the other. And you might imagine if you're leaving Camacho, you got your fingers crossed that you've got 77 friends off island that all voted for you. Yeah. Nobody else voted. Is it just you? Got 78 votes from the off island voters and the provisional ballots, and that's what's going to happen. So we'll watch and see how that plays out. And interesting that the community is divided enough, artificially, of course, because Pete Santos, flew in as a write-in, and I think there might have been a lot of people that saw Bob Klitsky and Auntie Lou outside the Jeep with the big sign that said "Tall Tales." Yes. So that was okay. That was just marketing. He wasn't actually campaigning. It was just marketing. So, but I'm wondering how many people saw that and said, "Oh, I'm writing him in."
You want to throw a wrench in it, man.
I'm going to write in Bob or Lou Klitsky for Attorney General. Would that be so bad? I mean, it would be terrible for Doug, right? But in leaving, but wouldn't be all that terrible. I mean, you got somebody like His Honor. Could you imagine if he was the Attorney General of Guam? 19th floor. Oh yeah,
I'm getting scared, man, because I got past crimes. I got a feeling you just show up and be like, "I remember you."
Yeah. Okay. So everybody here, last name A through G. Expect a telephone call from one of my prosecutors to start gathering some evidence. But wouldn't that be kind of interesting? Like I said, 19th floor would get investigated. You got all kinds of stuff coming out of the public auditor's office that I suppose he might want to have another look at or another pass pass at. But, him and Doug talk. They're kind of simpatico like that. So it wouldn't surprise me if Doug already has his lawyer's notebook and is ready to go. 7:51 and change. A bunch of other stuff on the item of the table of items in the table of contents. I'll get around to doing those, but I do gotta do a shout. A little bit rough morning, kind of a sketch morning here with the system. I'm getting recommendations from the guys in the States, the software guys. Never mind. They're telling me. About what it is that they're going to be doing. They're now suggesting hard drives for me to run to the store and buy so that we can get this thing backed up and swapped out.
That's easy, right? Plenty of those, right, Ray?
I have no idea. I don't know. Are there any? Who knows?
Waiting a year.
Where can I buy a big ass 2 terabyte solid state hard drive? Is there anybody? SP Borja online. So is Mike Schneip, George Cabrera, Sean May. Let me see. Hectic Antiseptic says Mike Grace Bloss, Rick San Augustine, Brian Strickner, Chris Camacho. Normally I'd be reading these names in the 6 o'clock hour, but I didn't have the luxury of it. But I do now. So let me say good morning to Dominic Ungakta, Michelle Diego Kitsutsu, Hannah Waller, Venue Guam. Hey, Phil, good to see you there. Phil, they had the last big Lou and Josh thank you rally at, behind your place yesterday. Does that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Dude. Oh, my God. So I was.
Is it finally over?
I don't know. It sounded like the beginning. It sounded like they were doing campaign speeches. Was the thing. I was actually in the vicinity. I had to do a minor repair job for somebody, so I was kind of in the vicinity. And it's one of these old Agana buildings where all of the insulation on the windows has come off. So it's like being outside. You can hear everything. And so they got a DJ in there, and they're playing cool 80s mixes. And I thought, well, that's all right. That's good. Just a nice little wave. Thank you, everybody. And then they started speechifying. Oh, hell. That's the one where then I put my headphones in, so I didn't want to hear the speechifying and little gaslighting that was going on. All of the stuff that Ginger Cruz told me I shouldn't be grumpy about in the newspaper yesterday. I got let me see, Cameron Mendiola, Marvin Francisco, the Christine Oliver is online. Who else is on? Joey and Vanessa Boleto Guerrero, Pete Rivera, Dave Eckert, this journalist long time ago and bona fide old fart in the media from here on Guam. Good to see Ben Borja, Jose Tetpahagu, Bobby Tovez, Donna Mila Martinez is checking in this morning. Donna Martinez, we were talking about Elon Musk and Twitter and how CBS left Twitter. So we're leaving Twitter because we don't want to be associated with a platform that now has Donald Trump floating around in it. And less than 24 hours later, CBS came back and said, well, as it turns out, it was just some kind of electronic security issue. Somebody smelled the Chinese and thought maybe we ought to back out on this just in case our hard drives start failing us. But we're back. We're back in the Twitterverse. There are actual conversations about that among some businesses now that are on Twitter, but maybe looking for an excuse to get out. And I'm thinking, you know what, that might not be such a bad idea. Go ahead and go just abandon the Twitterverse. That'll be all right, and that will leave it a platform I think that will be more approachable among certain people like my own self. Marie Babata Balbin online. Let me see. Donna Mila asking, Ray, are you sure it's a technical issue, or did the FART find other ways to try and slow you down? Now, there will always be another platform for me to exploit. Trust me. Bob and Connie Bartonico, Striker Vidzigomez, Gianni Martinez, Hafa Day to Bill Windham, Yvonne Merfallen, and Big Sister Shelley online. If you follow Shelley on Facebook,
I do.
Then no doubt you saw the image of my nephew singing at the Santa Barbara thing. Was that
amazing?
What was it? What was Sister Cecilia?
Sister Cecilia, I had her too.
You never heard him sing, Ray. If you never heard him sing, Ray, you don't know, man.
I think he's with Trey. I think he's performing with Trey over the next couple of nights over at Venue. Not sure, but anyway. So what was the deal last night? It was Saint Cecilia.
Saint Cecilia. I think
and a tribute to all the music teachers.
The music educator gala. I think this is their first one that they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shelley says, "Hoy, I met Donna last night."
Yeah, that was so exciting.
Donna was so excited to talk about that and say, "Oh, I met this a moment that will never be duplicated in my lifetime. I got to finally meet Big Sister Shelley."
Yeah.
And both of you just kind of oohing and awing over Artie singing. What did he sing? I mean, I heard
the one I sent you.
You
was
sent me.
You Raise Me Up.
Okay.
And that was his
So
solo.
that's a Kanye song.
Eh?
Okay, so and the other one?
No, it's not,
He sang the prayer with Crystal Paco.
Oh, the
San
Bocelli.
Agustin.
It's a Bocelli song, isn't it?
Was that him? I forget.
No, anyway, yeah, it was one of my
But,
mom's favorite
yeah, that
singers.
one.
Yeah, and one of my mom's favorite songs as well. All right, so good. Everybody was happy with it. Okay, now did you get any singing? Did you get any performing in you?
No.
No, you just...
I was there as a plus
but
one.
you could have.
No.
Why not? I mean, you play music. You play musical instruments for real. I mean, you know how to like read music and you play musical instruments. And
That doesn't mean I like performing, bro.
well, I go there's that. This is the Donna that has 90% of her face hiding behind. Aren't you glad I have large microphones in
That's
the studio?
a recorder, Ray.
Yes.
In fact, it's not only they're not big enough. She's made them bigger. She actually has a wind thing, a windscreen on the microphone. So
This is because I like going really close to the
Oh,
mic.
yeah. That's a We Are the World thing.
We all sound good that way. Franklin Meadows there, Ben Estavillo, Charles Craw. VFW lunch on Thanksgiving is free. You only need to buy your drinks, says Post Canteen.
Wow.
So the VFW Thanksgiving lunch that I told you about.
$30 drink. $35 drink.
Dude. Let me just say, taking a couple of beers at VFW was like walking into a bar on Guam in the 1980s. I handed the lady a $5 bill and got bills back, and I'm going, no way. And she looks at me, she says, way. And all I could think of was, I'm going to move to Jigo. In fact, I'm going to move next door to VFW in Jigo, because that's worth the investment there. All right, so 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Thursday, free Thanksgiving lunch at the VFW. Of course, you got to pay for your own drinks, and you're more than welcome to bring your own dishes. A great opportunity to mix it up with some great vets in our community, maybe some great active duty men and women. There's a big Air Force base not too far away, so it wouldn't surprise me if they come by to say hello and press the flesh. Charles Craw, use Cornish hens, put inside a turkey and watch the kids' reactions when they see the turkey. What do you want to do? Oh, put a Cornish hen inside the turkey. And then watch your kids' reactions when they see the turkey baked with a little baby turkey on the inside of it. God, I'm glad I didn't grow up in your house, Charles.
Turkey choice.
Shelley says, Ray makes the best Cornish hen and stuffing. Dennis Benzer's there. So is Rico B. Belen Sidell. Multiple Valentine likes. That's nice. We've got Eric Atta, Greg Fausto, and Sandra Ray just saying, Yvonne Murfallen. Hey, lady. Hey, lady. You lady, da-da-da-da-da. It's 7:59 and change in the radio station. We're going to take a news break with Fox News here in just a second. On the other side of that, Donna D is going to take care of local news and headlines. We'll figure out how we're going to butcher the next 2 hours of talk radio here on 93.3 The Point. Yes, I'm going to butcher it like a Thanksgiving turkey with a ham on the side and a tri-tip roast going over in, right? Yeah, I get you gaining weight just thinking about Thanksgiving Day. Stand by now. KUSG, I got you 93.3. We are The Point. Be right back.
Did he do it on purpose? I'm Frank Motek, Fox News. Police are questioning the driver of an SUV who violently slammed into an Apple store outside of Boston today, killing one person and leaving more than a dozen injured.
Police and fire units converged on an Apple store in Hingham, Massachusetts, after it's believed the SUV plowed through a plate glass window at high speed. Plymouth DA Tim Cruz says it could have been much more tragic with a store full of people.
It's Monday of a holiday week. I don't know exactly how many people were in there. I'm sure that we will find out once we have an opportunity to review all the documents and tapes.
Cruz says the driver is with police, adding tests and interviews will be done to see if a criminal case is warranted.
That's Fox's Gernal Scott. A man suspected of opening fire at a nightclub in Colorado Springs over the weekend is now being held on murder and hate crime charges. The attack at the LGBTQ club left 5 people dead, and authorities now say 18 people were injured. 22-year-old Anderson Aldridge faces murder charges and 5 counts of committing a bias-motivated crime, in this case against the victim's actual or perceived sexual orientation or gender identity. Police say the attack was stopped by a club patron who grabbed the gun away from Aldridge, hit him with it, and pinned him down until police arrived minutes later. New developments today in the collapse of cryptocurrency exchange FTX. The company owes creditors at least $3.1 billion, according to new court documents filed by FTX. And the Justice Department says it busted another massive cryptocurrency scam, this one based in Europe.
Federal prosecutors say 2 Estonian men defrauded thousands of investors out of $575 million in a fraud and money laundering scheme. The 2 Estonian citizens were arrested in their home country after a grand jury in Washington state returned an 18-count indictment.
That's Fox's Jared Halpern. America is listening to Fox News.
Subway just dropped an all-new menu of 12 sandwiches. They call it the Subway Series.
The Subway Series has 4 new categories of subs: cheesesteaks, Italianos, chicken, and clubs.
With a sandwich series like that, I'll be a happy Subway cereal eater.
And Subway has a new way of ordering, too. You can order the Subway Series sandwiches by name or by number.
So I can just say number 5 for the Bella Mozza? Hey, that's a whole new way to Subway.
You could, but the better choice, number 8, the Great Garlic.
It's the new Subway Series. What's your pick?
iPhone 14 Pro, all systems pro. Capture incredible detail with a 48-megapixel main camera. Experience iPhone in a whole new way with dynamic island and always-on display. And crash detection, a new safety feature that calls for help when you can't. Now, for a limited time, receive a $200 Visa gift card on us when you sign up for a new line with the purchase of your iPhone 14. Come into GTA today and experience the new iPhone 14 series of phones. It's all systems pro. Terms and conditions may apply. Visit gta.net for more information. GTA, we start with you.
It's shaping up to be the 3rd busiest Thanksgiving travel week in the past 22 years, according to the experts at AAA. U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg says fingers are crossed that we will not see airline flight cancellations and delays like we saw during the busy summer travel season.
I would not say we're out of the woods yet, but I am cautiously optimistic about this week being off to a good start, and we're going to be watching this very closely as we go into the other peak holiday travel times that are coming in the next few weeks.
Secretary Buttigieg says airlines have taken steps to improve service by hiring more staff and not overbooking so many flights. It turns out in the first half of this year, flight cancellations spiked 11% above pre-pandemic levels, according to the flight tracking website FlightAware. With Thanksgiving approaching this week, Americans are kicking off the holiday season. Tonight, a holiday tradition continues in the Big Apple.
It's beginning to look a lot more festive in New York City, and adding to the holiday spirit is this evening's lighting of the All-American Christmas tree. It'll take place at Fox Square, just outside the Fox News headquarters in Manhattan. Fox News personalities are set to attend, along with carolers and members of the New York Police Department and the Fire Department of New York as well. You can see the lighting live on the Fox News channel at 5 o'clock Eastern. In New York City, Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
And another national holiday tradition continued today at the White House when President Biden ceremoniously pardoned 2 turkeys named Chocolate and Chip just days before Thanksgiving.
Chocolate, you are pardoned. You are pardoned. You said you had to tell me that? Yeah, you are. Yeah, I'm serious. He said, I don't know, man. You didn't have to pardon me. I knew I was pardoned.
The 2 turkeys involved in this 75th National Turkey Pardon presentation came from Monroe, North Carolina, and they'll live out their lives at North Carolina State University. I'm Frank Motek, and this is Fox News.
Looking for a boost in leadership? Live to Lead is back. Guam's #1 leadership event is coming November 29th at the Hyatt Regency Guam. It's the 8th annual global simulcast with 5 world-class speakers led by John C. Maxwell. We'll have leadership activities at the table, and you'll get a plan to jumpstart 2023. It's an exciting and energizing day to reset and recharge. Get all the details at livetoleadguam.com. That's live, the number 2, leadguam.com. Livetoleadguam.com. Live to Lead is brought to you by Atkins Kroll, the Guam Chamber of Commerce, Guam Contractors Association, the Guam Daily Post, and 93.3 FM, The Point. Get the details and the lowest possible ticket prices right now at livetoleadguam.com. I'm Jerry Roberts, and I approve this message.
Half a day, Guam. Chili's is going local, featuring new menu items. All your Guam favorites with the Chili's twist. Taste the heat with Chili's Katun Pica wings with just enough of a kick to leave you wanting more. Dive into the savory flavors of coconut cream and spices with the Southwest Tinactac. Test your taste buds with Chili's Denancy glazed roast chicken and ribs, or hear the excitement coming off the sizzling stir fry with your choice of chicken, beef, or shrimp. At Chili's, more life and great local favorites happen here.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, easy, and secure. Visit Nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A police officer tasked with conducting a follow-up investigation into a crash at Jerry Kitchen testified that a fellow officer who responded to the scene did not follow standard procedure. In the trial of Nikita Uggan, who faces a misdemeanor charge of driving while impaired after a red Jeep she was operating crashed into Jerry Kitchen last February, GPD officer Scott Arceo continued his testimony yesterday. Arceo says he was one of the 5 officers tasked with reinvestigating the crash after public outcry claimed there was a cover-up. Arceo says Uggan was only issued a citation for speeding and was never interviewed after the crash. Defense attorney David Lujan asked Arceo about a G4S security guard being the only witness to the crash and saying Uggan wasn't the driver of the car. Arceo claims he did not read that part of the report. Lujan had said in his opening statements that Uggan's charges were the result of a cover-up for police officers and explained that evidence will show that she wasn't the driver of the Jeep. And Guam is seeing a sharp rise in respiratory illnesses. While public health officials say COVID is here to stay, there is also concern for an uptick in the flu and in the volume of cases in respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, a very common but potentially lethal disease. Acting Chief Public Health Officer Zania Pesina says RSV, the flu, and COVID-19 are all viruses, and the only way to know which virus you have is to get tested. This means the symptoms are just like those in COVID, but can also accelerate to wheezing or a cough that can sound like a dog barking. Pesina says this occurs mostly in younger children, younger than 1 year old, or in older people, 65 years or older. She adds that the virus is mild and mimics the common cold, but Pesina says RSV enters through the eyes, nose, and mouth, so wearing a mask, washing your hands, and watching your distance are still recommended. More news after this.
Go green, go hybrid, go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
The PUC says it supports a measure that could help reduce the high cost of power for island residents through a virtual power plant program, but the support comes with conditions. The PUC and GPA suggests an amendment that makes it clear that both 9 months after enactment and 90 days after approved by PUC is the appropriate time period. PUC Chief Administrative Law Judge Fred Horecki asserted that the legislative findings for the bill indicate that renewable energy produced by a virtual power plant can provide energy that is cheaper than power produced by fossil fuels. He says the PUC believes the virtual power plant's initial energy production would be limited to 20 megawatts, which is a disadvantage to the overall goal of increasing renewable energy production. Currently, 70% of an average resident's power bill is the cost of fossil fuels. And GVB says Guam is off to a good start despite worries about the impact on tourism of the weakened Korean won and Japanese yen. The island saw almost 30,600 arrivals last month, a 496% increase compared to a year ago. GVB Vice President Jerry Perez says with the significantly weakened won and yen versus the dollar, traveling to Guam and other U.S. territories has been costly for Korean and Japanese tourists. Another currency issue is that some potential customers for Guam from Korea would rather travel to Japan because the yen is weaker than the won. But GVB looks toward a continued increase in monthly arrivals, although the agency acknowledges that recovery to pre-pandemic levels would take some time. And those are your top stories. Now back to Ray with weather.
Okay, I'll get around to doing the weather. And I was just looking at some of the news from Hawaii. This is one of my favorite things about working on Tuesdays is that is Monday in Hawaii when they publish the weekly version of the Hawaii Free Press. And there's always some interesting stuff in there. You know, yesterday, I guess, day before, the Guam Daily Post had an article, front page with, because this is slow news, right? Hey, let's interview Jesse Lujan. He's going back to be a what are you going to do when you're in the legislature? And he had some ideas about making things easier for folks, doing something about the Jones Act, getting us out maybe from under the Jones Act, and maybe that'll save us a few dollars in the cost of goods that need to get shipped to Guam and surcharges and whatever. But Hawaii Free Press with an interesting article that they got from the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii. If you are a lawmaker and you're looking for maybe somebody that will think like you do and maybe give you answers to questions that will be different than the answers that you will get from guys at the governor's office, because they bamboozle people over at the legislature. I mean, that's what they do for fun. But if you want to be able to get some different kinds of answers and get into some kind of different debates on what we can do at the legislature today to make things easier for everybody that lives on Guam, Grassroots Institute generally has a few good ideas. I'll tell you about some of those in just a little bit. In the meantime, isolated showers today. Otherwise, mostly sunny skies. Daytime highs near 87. Winds out of the east-northeast about 6 to 10 miles an hour. Partly cloudy for tonight with overnight lows of about 78. Mostly sunny in the forecast again on Thanksgiving Eve tomorrow with daytime highs 87. With the heat index today and tomorrow is going to feel like 92 degrees, so brace for some heat. Partly cloudy in the forecast for tomorrow night. On Thanksgiving Day, partly sunny, daytime highs near 87, so expect another warm one. Possible that there might be some rain falling on you on Thursday night, but we don't see anything right now. Sunset tonight's going to be at 5:50. Hashtag tell the others. There it is, news and weather together on the point.
Guam Regional Medical City is the center of excellence for general and minimally invasive surgeries like colonoscopy, dialysis and vascular access, gallbladder, skin and soft tissue, gastrointestinal tract, hernia repair, spleen, select liver and pancreas diseases, upper endoscopy, and more. Schedule your appointment with GRMC today by calling 671-633-GRMC. That's 671-633-4762. For more information, visit us at grmc.gu.
It's a holiday sale at American Water Tech in Tamuni. Get the Aquaflow or Hydrotech reverse osmosis drinking water system installed for $785. And that includes one free service, a $260 value, and 1 year limited warranty. There's also the Connecticut Home Water Softener System for $2,975. That includes 2 free services valued at $380 and a 1 year limited warranty. Call American Water Tech at 671-649-2301 or go to their website for more information at www.americanwatertech.com. Sale ends December 30th, 2022.
Good man, 8:13. Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the guys over at Nissan. You know, Nissan always talk about the new cars over at Nissan, but they've got used cars as well. In fact, if you've got a car that you don't need in your driveway anymore, take it by Nissan. These guys are crazy about getting some used cars into the inspection program that they've got there, getting them cleaned up and getting them ready for a new customer. They've got a 32-point inspection plan. In fact, and all kinds of different makes and models. Doesn't need to be a Nissan to get into their used cars lot. They've got a Sentra there. 2017 was 18, now 14,995. They got a Subaru WRX, was 33,580, now 29,995. And how about this? An Infiniti. I love the Infiniti. Keyless entry, power seats, backup cameras, cruise control, rear spoilers, roof rack, blinds. It's got the whole enchilada plus leather everything. Is now $27,995 for 2018 Infiniti QX30. For details, go to NissanGuam.com.
The Ray Gibson Show. Any speaker, anytime. Morning talk that matters.
So what? Everybody good? It's Tuesday morning. morning, Ray Gibson Show. You got the telephone numbers. Don't be shy about using it. Meme Machine is online. I just can't put it on the screen. So if you got any funny stuff, by all means, send it out to me, and I'll be happy to hold on to it until tomorrow, where, if possible, we'll have some of these issues resolved. Word that I'm getting from the programmers, and for those of you that missed it this morning, I hate to recap it, but we are having an issue with the hard drive on the machine that makes the video streams that goes to Facebook and YouTube and the point.gu. Now, the software is good. Apparently, the hardware might be a little clunky. Does it sound like
it's a video card, Ray, and your sound card.
Does it sound like a washing machine in there yet? The tennis shoes going around in the dryer?
No, not
that's
yet.
Usually, the sign that a hard drive needs replacing is when it starts making a noise like it's a vacuum cleaner with something stuck on the inside of it. You know, it's like a tick, 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 tick. But if it's not making that noise, I might have a few days left. Me and the local IT, Kuya, are talking about how to resolve this, and I'm getting all kinds of expensive suggestions from the guys in the States on what to do. But I wasn't kidding. If you know where I might be able to find locally here, stand by. Why does it feel like there used to be more places to go to get something like this? I'm looking for specifically, stand by. A Samsung EVO SSD 1 terabyte. The guy in the States says that would be great. And I'm going, okay. Do you have one of those, Joe? Check your bag.
Yeah,
check your bag. Look in my backpack. See if I got something like that.
I gotta check my computer room, man.
All right, you go ahead and do all that. 8:17 in the morning. We'll see how it plays. Donna D in the studio, and it is for Donna D that I make a habit of going through the celebrity birthdays, and today is I've got them, so I'm going to use them. And there's a whole bunch of my heroes in here that are celebrating birthdays, including one of the guys. This guy's easily one of the kings of funny from Monty Python. Terry Gilliam is 82 years old, and all I can say is thank you very much for being born and providing me with that sense of being able to make it through some dry British humor, some Monty Python kind of humor, and it has been my experience as an adult male. Anytime that I would put Monty Python on the screen, Blackadder shows, really any kind of British humor on the screen, that was the quickest way to get rid of the woman in my life. Well, I mean, not permanently. I mean, not just, he's watching that British stuff again. I'm going to go shopping. What time? It's midnight. Yeah, but I'm still going to go shop. Kmart's open. I'm just going to go, and you watch your Monty Python, and you will be happy with all of that stuff. I don't know that there is a modern equivalent to something like that, but or like black and white. That's the other thing. If you want to get rid of the kids, put something black and white on a TV, and they will vamoose so fast. I mean, and you're going, but it's a great story. And they go, but why isn't it in color? And you got to explain to them that there was a time, once upon a time, where everything was in black and white. I grew up on Guam when it was black and white. It didn't get to be color until when did it finally start getting to be colorful? Like 1972 when KUAM first lit up the first color television transmitter on Guam. But the problem was, at the time, nobody had color TVs. So it's like, we're transmitting in color, but nobody had anything that you could watch it on. And that changed pretty quickly, but it still was kind of interesting. Anyway, Terry Gilliam, happy 82nd birthday. Tennis legend Billie Jean King is 79. And when I said that, Donna said, who's that?
It's not my lover.
No, it's not. Different Billie Jean King. Oh, my God.
I remember her. Yeah, she had those dark glasses, those big,
big glasses. But she was a female tennis player, and she got into a verbal scrap and a challenge. I said his name was Bobby Riggs. That might not be correct, but it was the battle of the sexes, and she won. Yeah. She beat him in that, and has become immemorialized for that feat. Legend Billie Jean King, happy 79th birthday. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Ow.
The dance from True Lies. That's all we need to talk about here. Although there were a couple of interesting scenes in Trading Places. Happy 64th birthday to the Scream Queen, Jamie Lee Curtis. Mariel Hemingway is 61 years old. I'm trying to figure out she's old enough now that she's got just the two brows because she used to have one. Back in the like the 80s. But she was like, wow, what are you famous for? It's a famous last name. Who else we got? Mark Ruffalo is 55 years old.
The Hulk.
Yes, Mark he's the Hulk. Oh my God. But he's also been in some really, really interesting movies. There's one with him and the girl from the Pirates of the Caribbean, and he plays a music producer, and she's a songwriter. But he wants to produce her singing and her songs. But she usually does them for somebody else anyway. But he's also kind of a failed producer and kind of at the end of the career. And so meeting up with her gives him back his mojo.
How old is this movie?
Maybe 5 years old. 4 or 5 years old.
Keira Knightley, right?
Yeah, Keira Knightley. Okay. She's I think it's called Starting Over. Look it up. You will be happy you did because it's a good show. Who else I got? Hailey Bieber is 26 years old. That of course is the mother of.
Okay.
The mother?
No, I thought it was his wife.
I thought it was his wife too.
Oh, I could be wrong.
I don't know.
The mom's young too, right? Justin's mom is young?
Yeah, I'm sure.
All right, if you're looking for something to celebrate, here we are moving closer and closer to an actual celebration day, and that would be the Thanksgiving Day. It's Go for a Ride Day. Among my favorite phrases when the old man, the old mom and dad were in the house and the power was out. When the power went,
that's fun.
Because back when I was a kid, back when the black and white days, when the power went out, it was usually island wide.
Oh.
It was you'd get in the car, number one, to get out of the hot house, but number two, to go and find out who's got electricity. And it was always the hospital.
Yeah.
Hospital always had electricity. And guys in the base always had electricity, but not us. And then we'd go over to where KFC is in Antigua now, and order chicken from them. It wasn't KFC yet; it was something else. And it was the longest, slowest kind of. We just need to make 5 pieces of turkey. Can you do that in less than an hour? We'll try, sir. We'll try. 8:22. It's Cranberry Relish Day and Start Your Own Country Day. Oh. I'm in talk radio. I'll bet I could do an hour on things I'd like to see. If it was my own country, the Republic of Ray, what would the rules be? And rule number 1, plastic bags. Welcome to the airport when you fly in. When you fly in,
bags.
I was holding my breath thinking it's going to be beer.
Republic of Ray. Yeah, beer at 18. But welcome to the Republic of Ray. Here are your plastic bags. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to. A 35-cent bag from over at ABC. How much is it when you buy it over at Payless? Here's your bag. Stuff it with stuff on the inside of it, and then we'd make it so that we would have these really long yellow lights. Just, long, almost as long as the greens.
Oh, yellow light. Okay,
long yellow light at the intersections. Because how many times you're getting up there and it's green, and there's some idiot in front of you that's on the phone or going really, really slow, and you're like, go, 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 and then they finally go, 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 and that's when it goes from yellow to red, right in front of you. Like, you idiot, we both could have made it. It's no matter with you. I'm thinking maybe a longer yellow light to take care of the guys, the casual drivers that we've got here on Guam. I might do a couple of other things. Including the standard length for men's shorts here on Guam. I think we need to top out at 5 inches on the inseam. I'm serious. You get these things and they're almost. Look, I see some of these shorts that you guys are buying. They're almost pants.
Sharia law.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray's Medical and Ray's Fashion Sharia. That's coming up 8:24 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Donna D's got news and headlines round the corner, but Cousin Troy is online. Good morning, Cuz. How you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Always nice. So if it was the Republic of Troy, if it was or you start your own country day today. If it was the Republic, there'd be a lot of dead people. There would be a purge. There would be a purge. Black Friday purge, as a matter of fact. That's when we do it. Happy Thanksgiving. Yay, fun to meet the family. And then you remember why it is that you don't like to hang out with family. And then you can do the purge on Black Friday. What do you say?
I actually like hanging out with family. Because
you and I, great families.
We don't have a big family, so we're good.
Yeah. Yep. Well, we all got together the other night for Mayumi's birthday, and the near as I could tell, there was no blood loss, and everybody was in a good mood when they left.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the way it's supposed to be. I hope everybody's got something like that coming up on Thanksgiving Day. So interesting, the trial here. Catch me up to speed. I'm looking at the Post story. Jerry Kitchen trial. GPD overlooks standard procedures. Now I was a little bit distracted as I was reading this, and so there's at least one police officer here involved that apparently did not read part of a police report before he took the stand.
So I don't think that GPD didn't follow the procedure as any news. We knew that since last year when the police chief admitted that after the public pressure was just piled on him. You had to feel sorry for the guy last year. And then the attorney general sort of calms everything down by charging this woman, Nikita Uggen. But the entire time we maintained, and you remember our conversations on this when I kept saying what this girl Nikita Uggen did or didn't do doesn't matter. This is not about that. This is not about her. This is about the cop who was in the car and the cops who covered up allegedly for that cop. And it's becoming clearer and clearer that really is what happened. And this officer, Scott Arceo, he gets on the stand. He's the guy who the police chief assigned to be in charge of the second investigation. Now, remember, that was the investigation that the police chief was forced to have because the public was just in such an outcry about the first one when he said, we did everything right. But then it was like, everyone with pitchforks was loading down on social media against the Guam Police Department saying, no, this was not done right. And so he had a second investigation.
Yeah, anybody else, if anybody else had been involved in that, I got a feeling it would have been, we're shutting down Marine Corps Drive and telling San Antonio for 4 hours because we're going to get down to the bottom of this investigation, find out who did what to who and all of that. That didn't happen. The Jerry Kitchen case was over before dawn.
Well, there would have been a DUI test, or at least an attempt to conduct a breathalyzer or some sort of field sobriety. But there was none of that. There was a traffic citation that was issued, and it was issued to a Nikita Uggen and no one else. And so this trial opens, and thank goodness for trials. This is why I like it when people take things to trial, especially when they know that they're not wrong. Is because you get the truth that comes out. And the defense theory of the case, which we really believe is the truth, is that this woman, Nikita Uggen, is the wrong person. Again, the Attorney General charging the wrong person for the crime, and she wasn't even the driver, and that this entire thing was just a cover-up for the police officer the off-duty police officer who was in the car, who was very politically connected. At least that's the defense theory of the case.
Okay, so question, and it occurred to me, as I'm reading this and then thinking, okay, so Dave's going to get Nikita off. That's going to happen. She's not going to serve time. She's not going to get a fine. Her insurance company's not going to get nicked. It's just a bad night one way or the other.
But she lost her opportunity to join the military, unlike any of the other three women who were occupants of the car that evening.
What's the rule? Nothing good happens. Nothing good happens after midnight, and you take your chances when you're out partying, whatever. But having said that, now what happens after this case? Will there be another investigation into a cover-up? Will charges ever be leveled against anybody else, or is this the case that holds the carpet up so we can sweep everything under it and then be done with it when Nikita gets off from Dave?
If Doug Moylan takes office in January and says that this is the thing that, I'm sorry, not if he takes office, when he takes office, and if he decides that this is something that needs to be reopened, because according to our sources, this is one of those cases where the current Attorney General unethically got himself involved to force the prosecutors to charge without there being enough probable cause. Now, if the new Attorney General says, you know what, this stinks of police corruption, this officer, Scott Arceo, admitted on the stand that they never interviewed the lone eyewitness to the entire thing, a guy named Ruthie Pachamwai, who was a G4S security guard for that building that night. He admits on the stand that, they didn't even interview him. Why wouldn't they interview him? Why wouldn't they interview the only eyewitness? And there's just really, all of this just comes down to what we all knew from the very beginning, which was why the entire community was in an uproar, was this was just a cover-up for the cop. and for the cops who were involved in the investigation.
Well, but those are Ignacio's people, so this goes all the way up to Ignacio. If there's charges that people are talking about, they're talking about a cover up, then that's something that needs to be addressed by Chief Ignacio.
I agree, and by the Attorney General. And you know, the other thing that we're forgetting in this whole thing is that there was also an IA investigation that cleared everybody. How did that happen? I mean, they think we're...
And then raises were handed out for everybody.
Raises and promotions. They just think we're a bunch of idiots. That's all it is. And, you know, and maybe we are. We got 4 more years.
I don't know what the genesis of a second investigation is going to be. David Lujan, the wonderful attorney, is going to get young Nikita off, and who knows? Maybe somebody will write her a letter, and she'll be able to get into the military and just never ever come back. Maybe that will happen, but somebody needs to answer the question, get to the bottom of the first mystery, the first glorious mystery, which is who was behind the wheel of the car, and why wasn't she arrested?
Well, I think Nikita Uggan, whose name has been dragged through the mud for the last year and a half, can probably do all of us a favor if she would so please. You know, she's been through so much already, but maybe she can do the annals of justice some good by, after winning this case, you know, launching a civil case against those who harmed her, because her reputation, her opportunities have just been dragged through the mud for the past year and a half.
What an interesting case. What else are you working on?
Saipan. Oh, this morning I have actually a guest in the studio, the former head of Veterans Affairs over in the CNMI. His name is Stanley Iacopo. He's actually an active duty military guy as well, stand-up guy. He's going to be in the studio to talk to us about why voters there should not trust Governor Ralph Torres and should vote for Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios.
Okay.
They've got, I think, 3,000 or 4,000 veterans in the CNMI, many of whom have to travel to Guam every single week to get services.
Oh, my
God. It has a lot to do. Yeah, it has a lot to do. And did you know that the Deputy Secretary of Veterans Affairs lectured the veterans people over in Saipan about why it is that their governor has no idea what's going on for veterans when he visited there last.
Ouch.
Yeah, very embarrassing situation. Yeah, so Stanley's going to talk to us about all that stuff. That interview's at 9.
I will. I'll try to. It's at 9 this morning. Okay, I'll still be on the air here. Have a good time.
Yeah, you can catch it after.
Okay, I'll watch the repeat if I get a chance. 8:32 in the morning. Cousin Troy, always a delight talking with you. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. Oh, MedHealth, and we're doing MedHealth.
Oh, MedHealth. Is there another shoe about to drop on that?
Yeah, and it has more to do with Francis Santos and his involvement with the people associated with MedHealth, and for his possible MedHealth involvement, though he doesn't want to respond to any of our questions.
Wow.
Yeah.
8:33 in the morning. Okay, well, this will be fun. So I want to watch it. By all means, send me a link to that. I got to run. I got Sean Gumatauta on the other line. He sent me a link to something on his YouTube or whatever. Buenas and have a day, Sean Gumatauta.
Hey, good morning, Ray. Half a day. How's things?
You know what's it's better now because I'm not anywhere near Lou and Josh's big thank you very much rally that took place yesterday on the road. My God!
Don't worry, I was nowhere near it.
Turn that down. What'd you have to? Why's it got to be so loud? It's just for you guys there in the front. Do we have to? It's like air conditioning again. We got to make it so that people can hear in Sinahanya what you're playing on the speakers. I'm just messing around. Look, it's all right to have a victory lap. You guys kind of had yours last week.
Yes, you know, it was bittersweet, obviously. You know, campaigns are what they are, pretty tough, right? And, just getting everyone together to say thanks. So it was good, and kind of wrapping up things. Election is over.
Well, just for a couple more years. I mean, there's we start counting down. I think there's something on the order of about 715 days between now and the next general election, and it is time. And to the degree that you spend any time at all with the guys, the movers and shakers, the real plank guys in the Republican Party. Has anybody done the autopsy on this election and then starting to look forward to what the next political season is going to be looking like? I mean, there's guys that groom themselves up for one thing or another. Jimmy Boy's, Washington D.C. One or two new names over at the legislature, and one or two people from among the ranks of the party that I think might have distinguished themselves a little bit and might do better in another election.
Yeah, I would agree, Ray. I think much of that has been happening over the last week and a half, and it looks like things are just, people, I would say in years past, being a part of elections for a while, especially after leaving my broadcast career, I would tell you that much of the folks in the party are pretty fired up. I think first off, I think we looked at the voter turnout, we were just trying to all scratching our head, and I think that's kind of like the push of the podcast, obviously. My podcast, that's it, that's all. But I think as a group, one of the big things, the takeaways, is the involvement of a lot of young Republicans. Now that sounds kind of a little bit nutty considering that much of our base is much older, but we had started to inspire a bunch of young people to get involved, and I think that's where we're going to see over the next 2 years that growth. These young folks have watched what's happened. They'll always tell me, Sean, it's tough to be a Republican nowadays because people think it's not fashionable. And then as they get older, that conservative view of like and love and the like take over. And what we're seeing today, or at least we saw in the last couple of weeks, is this young group is pretty fired up. And I don't think that fire is going to be out or extinguished anytime soon. I think that much of what you're seeing today, reading the newspapers, watching the newscast, listening to your show and others, that quite frankly, the direction of the island is really going in another way that we all would have expected, and now is the time to start building up the future leaders of our community.
I would hope that it goes off in that direction. I hope you're absolutely right. And I think one of the other things that we've got to work on here, both parties, regardless of where your platform is, the size of your platform or whatever, we both have got to work on getting the vote out. I think, and I read this in between the lines. I wasn't able to hear the podcast, the link that you sent me last night, but it's very clear when you start looking at the numbers from the primary and the general election. I don't know that there's really anybody at the legislature, the governor's office, that has a true mandate from the people, because a significant chunk of the registered voters and a big chunk of the people of Guam did not participate in this general election and the primary election.
Right. Ray, I was on another program and they asked me what would be the impact of a low voter turnout to Felix and Tony's campaign. And I said, I think that's the least of our worries. I think we need to worry about what if no one comes out or people don't come out, as we've experienced prior to 2002, those high 80s and 70s. I mean, and sure enough, I think this community is now going to, maybe talking to a sore loser on my end, right? But when you look at the turnout, I think we all as a community have lost.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing more from sore winners than I am sore losers. I thought Ginger's editorial in the newspaper yesterday was the ultimate in just filter out all of the grumpy losers out there and the spirit of Inafa Maulik. I like the way that they're twisting the cultural reference to suit their own goals.
Oh no, and I mean. This was an election on what, the last 4 years, and I think they were trying to tell everyone, including their own supporters, now don't look at what we did for the last 4 years. Look at what we're going to do moving forward. If that's in the first time in my almost 30 years covering elections or being a part of it, that it worked for them. But what was the worst of it all, quite frankly, was the turnout. And I think that the community needs to be concerned. I think all lawmakers, I think the governor, I think everyone in this community needs to start thinking, hey, what do we need to do to get the vote out? There's no question that this is going to hurt for a long time for a lot of people. But again, when there's no mandate, I wish them well. And we'll be watching like hawks to make sure that they're. Well, maybe
I don't know what the view is. Maybe a serious discussion among people at the legislature now to take a look at the calendar of holidays and declare Election Day a holiday, so that nobody has an excuse. I mean, everybody's got the day off. Go and vote. Boss ain't going to give you a hard time, and even if he does, we'll make sure that the 2-hour voting block law remains in effect, so that even if you are one of those poor suckers that have to work on Election Day, and by the way, we will be among those poor suckers that have to work on Election Day.
Right. And, I was going to say, Ray, about without giving too much on the podcast, I hope people will listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Stitcher and the like. But I do say one thing: make it one day. never mind this early vote thing. The pandemic is behind us. It's in the rearview mirror. Move forward. Go back to one day.
You know what? I'm of two hearts on that one, and I'm not that I have passion on either side of it, but I just think that there were a lot of people that I got stuff to do, and if I can knock this out of the way without having to show a note from a doctor or an airplane ticket or anything like that, I ought to be able to go vote. Maybe not 3 or 4 weeks, but how about 7 days? Can we do 5 days worth of early voting? I mean, people know when the election is, and we'll let them know. But if it's a convenience for them, then I don't necessarily have a problem with that. I'm with Doug Moylan. I think anytime that the vote gets passed, it ought to get counted on election day. That's provisional votes, et cetera, and we'll figure out how we can get the uniform and off-island ballots taken care of a little bit earlier, so those can be counted a little bit closer to election day. But there's all these loopholes that we forget to close after the election is all done. 20 away from 9 o'clock in the morning. Last question for you, Sean. Sure. I'm sure you had a good time doing the podcast, and you were on real familiar ground in territory you knew pretty well, where you were handling microphones and taking care of some of the press for the Governor Camacho and Tony. You looking at getting anywhere near back into microphone journalism news game?
You know what? I was going to say to you that one of my, way I'm giving back is for the last 10 years, I've been an adjunct instructor at the University of Guam teaching communication students. So I talk to all those freshmen and try to encourage them to take on those careers. I enjoy what I'm doing. Just started doing some work, on top of what I'm doing with the podcast. So it's, I think it's time for these young bucks to do what they have to do. And we got to inspire younger folks to do it. I think that it's still a great profession, even though I think this cycle kind of crushed some of those things in many respects. But I think that it's still a very admirable profession. I think that we got to get more and more young people involved.
Yeah, well, there's absolutely that. Listen, you can continue to inspire them. I'm not saying that a daily piece of audio from you wouldn't be a great thing, but it would be actually kind of fun if you've got your podcasts and you get in there and just do 30, 45 seconds of, hi, this is Sean, this is what I'm thinking about, and send that over. We'll play it on the radio.
Wow. You know what? I never thought about that. Maybe that's maybe something me and my boss can work on. I think that would be something pretty neat.
Well, there's always something every day that will crinkle the nose of a conservative in the news and all kinds of other things that are out there that I think are going to be interesting. It's been a while since you've had much of an editorial voice on Guam, and I think it'd be good to have it back. My mom always liked you.
Oh, no. She every time I run into her, she'd always say, hey, I'm one of your biggest fans. And I was like, oh, my God. It was always, I miss that lady, I tell you.
All of us do. 8:42 in the morning. I'll talk to you pretty soon, Sean. You have a great day.
Thank you, Ray. Have a great one.
888-8255, 888-TALK. Lots and lots to talk about here. Table of contents. Barely scratched the surface on that. We got to take our last news break with Donna D, because the clock is running right now. It's like a taxi cab with the dollars flipping over. Click, click, click. Oh, and she's like, no, take your time. It's all right. Donna D with news and headlines coming up after these.
OKFC, original and crispy. Happy holidays, folks. Colonel Sanders here. KFC is here to help feed your holiday hunger with our 6 or 12-piece family meal. They both come with your choice of our delicious KFC sides, biscuits, and a personal gift from the Colonel. 2 free glass food containers. Have a safe and happy holiday season from KFC Guam. It's finger-licking good.
Pacific Points is more rewarding with friends. Get 100 bonus points for every friend you refer that signs up and earns points. Both you and your friends will enjoy awesome perks like discounts on Shell fuel, rebates on your IT&E bills, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. Plus, earn more points to upgrade your membership tier and enjoy even more exclusive rewards. Learn more at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Did I make the face? Apparently did at 8:45 in the morning, and Donna says, you made the face. We were talking about a thing that the Idlet brothers are going to be up to on Black Friday. It's called Block Friday. It's going to be Towers for Tots is what they're calling it at the Micronesia Mall. And Donna's like, are you going? I said, what's at the mall? And she said, oh, look at that face. I didn't realize that I'd made I got to go to Ross face. I'm sorry. No, I love the mall. I love but the truth of the matter is I cannot go to the mall and not spend money. And it's money I don't have these days between the shoe place and Beyond the Box and what's it, JP Superstore? It's impossible.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack. The Radio
I'm just
Shack.
kidding. It's not there anymore.
But I go to the JP Superstore, and whether I need it or not, they've got all these gizmos for the kitchen that I like, and I think there's every kind of Yeti thing, and what's the other one? I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. I don't know. And you're going, oh, my God, this is one of those senior Joe Biden moments. No, I can never remember the name of what's the container that you put water in? The Hydro Flask.
Yes.
Hydro Flask. I got it. It's a Hydro Flask.
Every color, shape, and size.
Every color, shape, size, accessory for you. Remember when it's you've got a Hydro Flask, but you don't have the little Hydro Flask tank cooler thing around it, right? The little rubber bumper.
The insulation,
yeah. And then you got to put the little, what is it? The things that go into your little shoes. What are they called?
Legos.
Giblets.
Gibbets.
Yeah,
Gibbets for Crocs.
They did. They had gibbets for those, didn't they? Well, maybe just in my dream. Anyway, it's 8:46 in the morning. Speaking of dreams, Donna's going to take care of her last big look at news and headlines. Huff and Donna D, what happened?
The Guam Election Commission will be conducting a recount for the Attorney General's race tomorrow. The preliminary results ended with a razor-thin margin in favor of challenger Doug Moylan, who beat incumbent AG Levin Camacho by 77 votes. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan says GEC will also be recounting the 15th and 16th positions for the senatorial races between Jesse Lujan and Kelly Marsh Titano. Lujan took the number 15 spot by 375 votes. And Reverend Tax has announced that a new application is available for businesses seeking to be a part of the local adult use cannabis industry. The application, called Form DRT CELA, will be available online at guamtax.com and at Reverend Tax's compliance branch, where they can be turned in. Applications must be accompanied by payments. Only cash or checks will be accepted by the Treasurer of Guam. No debit or credit card payments are allowed. And GCC presented certificates of completion for a 4-week program to 16 people in the third series of its Child Care Boot Camp. The curriculum of the program consisted of courses in early childhood orientation, child care development and growth, Heart Saver and CPR, training in work ethic, work keys, and emergency planning and evacuation plans. With the completion of the program, participants are now able to put what they learned to use in on-the-job training. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Rick.
Well, and speaking of students that need to be applauded, the kids in the culinary program over at Guam Community College could use a plug about once, twice a day. A reminder that tomorrow, the 23rd, GCC's Multipurpose Auditorium, Building 400, will be host to your lunch and dinner. And this week's cuisine comes from Japan. There will be 2 separate menus, one for lunch, one for dinner. They're both very, very good. And as much as I'd like to say, hey, what a great thing it is for the students at GCC and the culinary program, it occurred to me this might be one of a very small handful of places where you can get an entire plate of food for $10. An entire plate of food, everything, beginning, the dessert and appetizer, all of that, the dessert, everything is only $10. I don't know of any restaurants that you can go to and get that kind of deal these days. So think about that. The fun starts at 11 for lunch, and dinner time starts at 4. Bring $10 folding money with you. They don't take checks or PayPal or credit cards. 8:49 in the morning, and normally take a break, but I gotta bring this guy in because he's somewhere between airplane rides in the U.S. mainland, I believe. Which one have I got? Landon Idlet's on the line. Good morning, Landon.
Good morning, Ray. How are y'all doing?
You know what? We're pretty groovy. Had kind of a sketch beginning of the program. I got a hard drive that's about to go south. And if you weren't at the airport, I'd send you to the nearest computer store or Radio Shack or whatever where you are, and see if you can get me a solid state drive about 1 terabyte's worth. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I know what you mean.
So because we all deal with computers one way or the other at work, and this one, according to the computer guy, has got it's on its last hard drive legs, as it were. But anyway, glad that you and your brother are finally done with that big conference that you had with the big weather wigs out there. Saw all of those kinds of things happening. Also saw you guys relaxing in a lounge somewhere. So I figure you're getting closer to Guam by inches.
Yes, we are gradually getting closer. We're just about to get on our first flight of 3 going from Savannah to Newark, New Jersey, where we'll be staying overnight. And then it's the long haul through Tokyo to Guam. And we're carrying about 250 pounds of luggage with us. More than half of that's going to be for next week's project.
Next week's project. Well, you've got a project coming up on Black Friday. It's Block Friday at the mall. Towers for Tots. What are you guys doing?
Well, that's correct. It's the Towers for Tots project, and I guess it is technically this week. I'm still on the East Coast time zone and date, so pardon the misspeak. But, yeah, this Friday, Block Friday, while you're at the mall shopping, drop over to the atrium outside of the men's Macy's department store, where we will be assembling the first of 3 skyscrapers in Lincoln Log form. And, again, we have about 110 pounds of additional blocks that we're bringing with us from the East Coast from our friends over here in the States. We're going to be excited. We're having a lot of fun and excitement spinning up this Towers for Tots project, and hope to collect a lot of toys for kids on the island.
Well, wait. So are we trying to set a record with these towers?
Yeah, no record for this one. We're going to be capping them right about 12 feet, so it's still going to be towering over most people in the area, unless we have the Guinness World Records tallest person in the world. But we're going to be peaking our towers between 10 and 12 feet in height, but we're going to be using probably upwards of 70 to 80,000 blocks, if not more than 90,000 blocks, in all of the assembly coming up this weekend. So we're not going to be going for a Guinness World Record at this time, but we are going to be going for bigger and more blocks and more skyscrapers. Most of them should be recognizable, but there's going to be one that's going to test some of our capabilities, because it's going to require some custom-made blocks and additional assembly that we've never done before.
Interesting. I was going to say, do you have the time to do this? What's their schedule going to be like?
Yeah, we never have time for this. Thank God there's no typhoons in the area right now. But the weather should be complementary to our plans. But we're aiming to do this in 4 days. So we're going to try to assemble 1 tower on Friday, and then do towers 2 and 3 on Saturday, Sunday, and finish up on Monday. And if we have leftover blocks, we'll improvise at that point. But we're going to try to put everything together, all 90,000 plus blocks that we have in our collection, put it together in some form of assembly with at least 3 world-famous skyscrapers.
Oh, and now, what's the connection with Toys for Tots? We go from towers to tots to Toys for Tots. Are you just building awareness, or is there a connection between these Lincoln Logs and the ability for somebody to put together some toys and help out?
Yes, that's exactly it. And what we wanted to do, we wanted to build this project. Micronesia Mall approached us several months ago about doing a project there. And so we always love any opportunity to build towers with Lincoln Logs. It's been our childhood hobby for decades now, but we wanted an opportunity to build, and now that we have it, we wanted to link it to the island for a good cause. And so we approached Toys for Tots, since it is the season for giving and giving thanks, and they were very much on board to partner with us. And so here we are with Toys for Tots. They're celebrating their 75th anniversary this year. And so it's Christmas time. It's the Thanksgiving shopping weekend. We really want to just link this and bring it to the island. And again, incorporate the islands into this event. And so we are soliciting sponsors to help us build. We're not restricted by guidelines from the Guinness World Records for building requirements, but we're going to have fun. We want to invite the community to join us for this event that will be at the Micronesia Mall all through the weekend, starting on Black Friday. But this is going to be fun. We're going to have a blast. We're not going to be stressed with rules of engagement requirements from the World Records entity. But we're going to have a lot of fun with this. Well, again, like I said, we're going to be using custom blocks that we've never used before. So it's going to be a little bit of a stretch of our creativity. but we're going to have a blast.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this. All right, so they're not all three going to be built by the time I get there for Black Friday. I thought you were going to be in like building these things as soon as they open their doors at 6 on Black Friday, which is the schedule, by the way, 6 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. So an ongoing project, and while you're there, make sure that you do some buying. Go by JP Superstore, Beyond the Box, whatever, grab some goodies, and put them into big boxes for Toys for Tots. There's the connection there that I need to make.
Yeah.
Before you get back on, because I know you guys are like going to be airplane bound here for a little bit, where's the craziest weather that you guys have seen in your travels so far? Have you run into anything where you said, wow, how about that?
Well, the craziest weather I've seen
Subway just
last week and a half, that was well to our north. That was in Buffalo, New York, where they had the Lake Effect snow event. Record-breaking snowfall totals for the state of New York was nearly 6 feet of snow falling in about a 24 to 36-hour period. But here in Savannah and Jacksonville, Florida, really not much weather to speak of, but it's been nice and chilly the last several days. So it's been quite a refreshing taste of winter. So we enjoy that. But back to the heat and humidity in about 36 more hours.
Yeah. Before too much longer, yeah. Sticky rice, soy sauce, and heat and humidity as soon as they open the airplane doors. 8:56 and change. Appreciate you taking some time in your travels. Safe travels for you and your brother until you get home.
Thank you, sir, and see you all soon. Happy Thanksgiving.
And will do. 888-8255, 888-TALK is the telephone number. Nice guys. And as I've probably said more than often, Guam is so lucky that they decided that this is where they wanted to live. Just absolutely a couple of great guys that want to be out here, number one, because we've got epic weather from time to time. And, you know, it occurs to me that since they've been here, I don't know that we have had very, very epic weather.
Oh, yeah, we're due.
Stop it. Don't say that. Never, ever say that. Like, what did we do to deserve it? I always say, I get that from people. Oh, we're due for another big blow here in the middle of 2021 to 2001.
We got to pay for our sins,
And
Ray.
I'm going, wait a second. Well, I did not sin. I don't know. You're thinking about somebody else here. You're thinking about 19th floor people. I was not in that crew here. I don't deserve any of that stuff. I've been a good boy. Not really. But I did, I haven't done anything that would incur the wrath of the gods here as we start looking at all of that stuff. All right, where do I get to go? A couple of minutes before the top of the hour. Not a whole lot of time to spin anything major up here. But there is, we talk about tourism. In fact, one of the big stories in today's front page of today's news, PDN says 30,593 visitors to Guam. Oh my God, fiscal 2023 numbers are off to a good start. 30,593 so far in the fiscal year. That was back in the old days. The old standard was that was a week of Koreans and Japanese and all kinds of other folks coming into town. Long, slow slog. But you can do your part in order to make them feel that much more welcome. I make it a habit to try to, if I'm on Instagram and I see a Korean and they're posting pictures of Guam, I always put in, thank you for choosing Guam, or thanks for coming to Guam, and then the Guam flag. And then most times I do that, they respond back to me. And in the case of, the particularly hot Koreans, I'm like, when are you coming back? Just as an ambassador, endorphins. As an ambassador, I'll ask him those questions. But there's a changing view in Hawaii, in particular, Hawaii Free Press Day, and the changing view is that tourists don't want to come out here for the same experience, where they just buying trinkets and laying on the beach, round pink roly-poly Americans sitting on the beach. They want to give back to the Aina of the Ohana. They want to give back to the land, the Malama Aina. It's what they want to do. So there is a whole, and I'll see if I can get some information on this, and while the news break is on. But there is a whole tourism company, and their sole job is to get tourists to go on an incursion that will have them basically pulling weeds and picking up rocks and just doing. It's slave labor anywhere else, but in this case,
person, the bush cutter,
yes,
and the blower, the leaf blower.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what it sounds like. Is you're going, wait a second, there's tourists that are coming here, paying you to let them work. Okay, got that. I wonder if our tourists would stomach a little bit of that here. Because it's good for the environment. And we'll take you to all of our environmental stops. We'll stop by the community garden out in Agano for whatever that's for. I don't know. 9 o'clock in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. Real quick break for the Fox News. We'll come back and kill another incredible hour of talk radio on 93.3 KUSG. I got you. This is The Point.
Charges in the Colorado nightclub shooting. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Court records reveal prosecutors in Colorado Springs are preparing to charge Anderson Lee Aldrich with 5 counts of murder for Saturday night's shooting spree, as the community demands to know why a man with a violent past was able to possess a rifle.
Last year, a 21-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich was arrested after his mother called police saying her son was making bomb threats in a neighborhood about 12 miles away. He was arrested on 3 counts of first-degree kidnapping and felony menacing. That case was never prosecuted and the court records were sealed. Flash forward to Saturday night when police say 22-year-old Anderson Lee Aldrich opened fire with a long rifle after entering Club Q just before midnight.
Fox's Claudia Cowan reports the charges against Aldrich will include committing a bias-motivated crime. One person killed, several hurt in suburban Boston when a car plowed through the window of an Apple store in Hingham, Massachusetts.
Multiple people are being, as I said, they're being hospitalized and receiving treatment.
That's County Prosecutor Timothy J. Cruz, who says police are questioning the driver to learn whether the crash was intentional. Federal judges ordered former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki to comply with a subpoena and testify in a lawsuit filed by the states of Missouri and Louisiana, charging the Biden administration colluded with big tech firms to censor speech. Alabama's Governor Kay Ivey pausing executions in her state, ordering a top-to-bottom review of the state's execution protocol after 2 failed execution attempts since September. A senior U.S. official tells Fox News there are multiple threat streams suggesting a potential terror attacks being planned against the World Cup in Qatar, possibly by terror cells affiliated with Iran. In their first match of the tournament, the U.S. men's team has tied Wales 1-1. America is listening to Fox News.
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile Team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
A Supreme Court justice denying any role in a purported leak ahead of a high court ruling.
A forceful denial from Justice Samuel Alito that he had anything to do with an alleged leak of a high-profile 2014 ruling to conservative donors Gail and Donald Wright. The Reverend Rob Schenck claims Gail Wright, a donor to his former organization Faith in Action, relayed the information after a dinner with the Alitos in 2014. These allegations come after the blockbuster leak this past spring of Alito's draft opinion overturning Roe v. Wade. Chief Justice John Roberts announced an investigation into the leak origins, but no signs the culprit has been found. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
2 men have been arrested in Estonia, charged with a $500 million cryptocurrency fraud scheme. A federal indictment in Seattle accuses the men of tricking thousands of people to invest in what prosecutors say was really just a pyramid scheme. NASA's Orion space capsule has begun orbiting the moon, passing within 81 miles of the lunar surface. It'll spend a week circling the moon, gathering data for a mission to put astronauts back on the moon, scheduled for 2025. A holiday tradition at the White House, 2 turkeys named Chocolate and Chip have received a presidential pardon.
I hereby yes.
President Biden hosting the official pardoning on the South Lawn, where his dog made an appearance from the White House balcony as the president infused some political humor.
The only red wave this season is going to be a German Shepherd Commander knocks over the cranberry sauce on our table.
The two turkeys will now return to the Tar Heel State and be put in the care of North Carolina State University's College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. At the White House, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
Wall Street Monday, the Dow lost 45 points. NASDAQ down 121. The S&P 500, 15 points lower. I'm Jack Callahan. This is Fox News.
Farewell ANZ Bank. You've been an excellent corporate citizen for 30-plus years. And yes, we're competitors, but we're sorry to see you go. Now let us address the bank's customers. Bank Pacific's arms are wide open to accept your banking needs, whether it be to handle your savings, commercial checking, merchant business, or consumer or commercial loan needs. We're open on Saturdays in 4 convenient locations and have excellent online banking services. And we're staying, for as you might know, where others put branches, we place roots. Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
Pacific Points is more rewarding with friends. Get 100 bonus points for every friend you refer that signs up and earns points. Both you and your friends will enjoy awesome perks like discounts on Shell fuel, rebates on your IT&E bills, vouchers at Foodies, and United Mileage Plus miles. Plus, earn more points to upgrade your membership tier and enjoy even more exclusive rewards. Learn more at PacificPoints.com. Pacific Points. Do more, get more. Half a Day Guam Chili's is going local, featuring new menu items. All your Guam favorites with the Chili's twist. Taste the heat with Chili's Cutun Pica wings with just enough of a kick to leave you wanting more. Dive into the savory flavors of coconut cream and spices with the Southwest Tinectac. Test your taste buds with Chili's Denancy glazed roast chicken and ribs, or hear the excitement coming off the sizzling stir fry with your choice of chicken, beef, or shrimp. At Chili's, more life and great local favorites happen here.
6 after 9 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, I was just getting my mail. Just getting, oh, look, there's my new power bill. Scary. There's the water bill. Scary. Solid Waste Authority. Scary. No, they're not so bad. They're not. Oh, yeah, I've been pre-approved for something. What is it? I don't know what it is. I didn't ask anybody for it. It looks like I got another credit card offer because they haven't met me yet, I guess is the thing. I'm going to open these up on the air and see how bad it is. All right, so for the most part, the Solid Waste Authority is not the scary one. I got to do a live thing, right? Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at APL, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by the team over at NissanGuam.com and the World Wide Web. Why do I say it so fast? Because I want to get to the part where we start talking about how just awesome the automobiles are that they've got there. All kinds of rides here that are going to save you money. I got a feeling that we're seeing a little bit of a drop in what's happening with West Texas and oil and things like that. I don't know how long it's going to stay like that. So be prepared for a brand new ride. APRs as low as 2.99% or $1,000 worth of free gas when you buy yourself a Versa, a Frontier, a Rogue, or a Kicks. The time is now. The car, it's at NissanGuam.com.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Call now. 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
So I'm no good with money. So as best as I possibly can, I got this thing. First Hawaiian Bank is they've got the checking account, and the way it works is I told them when I got the account at GSWA, I said just give these guys $30 a month. $3, I think it's like $35 a month or something like that, because I couldn't remember what the charge was for the rate plus the community benefit charge, and so I prepay that. So I don't worry about it. I get a bill, and there's usually a credit on it. And the credit now, after quite some time of prepaying with the wrong number, is $27.38.
Nice,
they owe me.
Good
They
job.
owe me $27. I got a credit with those guys. That's all right. There's bill number one. What I say, bill number two. Are you ready for bill number two? Bill number two is the water bill. It feels thick. You know why? Maybe there's not a Valentine message, but a happy Thanksgiving message from Miguel Berdallo.
Oh yeah.
Hey, cuz. How you doing, cuz? Okay. So, here's my consumer update. This is the one where they tell me, no, all that rock and sediment in the water that you need a filter for, that's good for you. You want that. Yeah. It's good to keep you healthy.
It's omega-3s.
It's good for bone health. Do we still have, quick question, did we ever have fluoride in our water here? Do you know?
I don't know. God, fluoride's so good.
That makes my teeth strong and shiny, like my hair. All right, so we've got, this is the water bill, and you know what? I don't think they're really checking my meter.
Let me guess.
It's the same every month.
Let me guess.
It's the same every month. Whether I water blast the roof, it doesn't matter how many times.
$39.60.
Oh no! It's I pay them $65 a month.
Oh wow!
That's my prepaid to them. Current charges $59.17.
Cold showers.
Yep. So they owe me. This independent branch of the government of Guam owes
Everybody owes you.
$28. Okay, so the other two giveth, and this one taketh away. All right, power bill time. Power bill time is okay. Opening it up. Reminder now, it's just me. It's me and the cat for the most part. Netflix, air conditioner when I'm sleeping or when it's really hot outside. All right, so my average daily kilowatt hour charge was 30. I can do better than that, but it's getting ready for the holidays. This one has the last, I believe, of the Programa de Ayuda para Itautau energy credit of $100. And then I prepay these guys, I want to say to the tune of about $300 a month. And I prepaid too much last month, less the adjustments. So what would have been a $400 power bill, $399.12, with the government's money thrown in there, with the amount that I give them every month anyway, plus what they owed me from my last overpayment, I owe them. I got to send them a check for $51.76.
Oh, nice.
No, it feels good, right?
Though.
You're going,
yes.
$51. That's all I got to send.
That's an achievement. Feeling good.
I've only underpaid them by $51. But that arrears, the credit that I had going in, probably isn't going to be there at the next month, and the number for the program and whatever ain't going to be there for next month. So I got a feeling that. People I owe money to, I think it's going to come out to me paying you later as usual. Hope you don't mind. Thanks for not hitting me with a finance charge. Really appreciate that. All right, so 9:12.
So they owe you. The water company and the trash company owe you.
They owe me. I should do that.
You should call them up and be like, we can do this the hard way, or...
Why don't you take the 27 you owe me,
Ray.
Andy Gale? Why don't you take the 27 you owe me, and then Miguel Berdallo owes me 28, and give that to John Beneventi? Could you work it all like that? I used to have a different system where I do it on the every month instead of prepaying. And I remember one month I screwed up and gave GWA the power company water and GPA the water company number. So I'd overpaid GWA by like $350 and underpaid about the same. I'd given GPA $65, to which I'm sure even John Beneventi, who loves me like a son, would go, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to see your way clear through all of this. All right, 9:13, Ray Gibson Show until it's not anymore. And we're talking about the hospitality industry and the guys over at GPA. I think this is a good thing. We're watching the numbers slowly come back. I obviously this is not pre-pandemic numbers. The Tumon is not doing all that well by way of numbers. And, you can still see it when you go down there. And there's a nice place. Used to go there, closed now. Asu Steak. Did you see where Asu Smokehouse has shut down?
Yeah, they're done, Ray. Threw in a towel, man.
Cannot.
Well, it's tough.
Yeah, I know. But, how long is it going to take for that smokehouse smell to get out of that section of Chamorro Village? Anyway,
washed it out, man.
I don't know. I got a couple of guys going, well, there's another restaurant biting the dust here while we're still in a public health emergency, arguably until the beginning of December, which will probably be extended until the beginning of January. But anyway, so getting back to the hospitality industry, maybe one of the things that we have to do is reconfigure our hospitality industry. The way they've done it in Hawaii, where they're reimagining tourism. and asking tourists to pay $55 to dig in the mud. This is interesting. The headline reads, near the site of the Miski shootout. With gloves ready and sickles in hand, this group of visitors are jumping right into the loy and using their vacation to the phrase that comes out of Hawaii, malama aina, which is the way it's said. And if you want to experience this, you can go to the kualoa.com website and sign up to experience the malama experience at the Kualoa Ranch. The hands-on experience captures the importance of sustainability and watershed management. It is important for us to malama these resources as they feed our entire natural environment from the mountain to the sea, which in turn feeds us as beneficiaries of this thriving ecosystem. Can you see the guys with the top knots and the capri pants already going, I got to do this. I've got it. They have the word sustainability. It's in the brochure. I've got to do this. I'll blog it. That's what I'll do. Maybe I'll make a vlog of it. Me and all of my friends getting in there, and we'll roll up our capri pants and get into the mud and pull weeds and things like that for $55 an hour. This, friends, is genius. This is, I'm sorry, why haven't we thought of this before? Now, I'll get back to the thing here. Learn about how important kalo, which is taro, is to the Hawaiian people, not only for sustenance and its cultural tie to Kualoa, but also the Hawaiian cultural identity. Depending on need, activities can include the thatching of traditional Hawaiian hale, which is another word for house. Did you know that, Real Joe?
No, I didn't.
Hale, house. Assisting with cleaning, planting, harvesting the taro. This is work that we tried to get out of when we were kids.
Yes.
Or stewardship of the Mala Lau Lapau Au Hawaiian Medical Plant Garden. Appropriate beachwear is needed, and guests should bring a towel as they will be able to rinse off in the ocean or in one of the streams. We're not even going to let you take a shower when you're done. Just jump in the ocean, Kaza. Huh? That's what we're going to do. Go sit in the stream. Maybe going to catch yourself some of that lepto fever. We don't get it anymore. We're immune. But you howlies, you're going to get lepto because there's a pigs pooping in the water right up there. 9:16 in the morning. The Malama experience is $51 a head. Children's rates between 5 and 12 is $36.95. FYI, the tax on this is going to be 4.712. I don't know if they're picking you up at your hotel to take you to this, or maybe you got to find your own Uber or whatever. And this is great. I wish I could show it to you. Remind me tomorrow to put this up on the screen if everything is working, because I'd love to be able to have people take a look at all of this and get all of these travelers from all across the United States. I'm sure every blue state is going to be represented in the makeup, and they're out there and they're proud of their dirty hands like it's the first time they've ever been in mud before in their entire lives. It is the kualoa.com on the World Wide Web. Take a look at that and find out how they're replacing DFSs and ABC stores with chain gangs. Now, could we do the same? Is it possible that we've got the wherewithal to be able to reconfigure, reimagine, if you will, our hospitality industry so that we could get Koreans and Japanese to come out here and clean up our town for us? You know, let's talk about sustainability. And how bad for sustainability and the environment it is to have trash everywhere and abandoned vehicles. Wouldn't it be, get you, pick you up at the hotel in a van and bring you someplace and have you help lift the abandoned vehicles? They don't weigh anything after the guys have stripped them, but just lift that up and put it on a flatbed somewhere, and you get to keep the gloves. We'll put little Guam Seal logos on the gloves. I think something like that would go on a long, long way to get the cafe latte drinkers from our source markets out there excited about helping our environment and our culture. We'll teach them words like inafamalik, which apparently you can spin any way you want to. 9:18, Ray Gibson Show. Ponder that if you get a minute or two. The amazing and incredible Dr. Ron McNinch is online. Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
Hey, Happy Ray, Happy Guam.
Are you amused?
I'm reminded of that story you just talked about of a Seinfeld episode where Kramer started an internship called Kramerica. And he would bring in college students to do his laundry and clean his apartment and stuff like that. And right? So then they get college credit for
the total Tom Sawyering, man. They're totally Tom Sawyering, and I think it's hilarious. There are guys that will do this, and the amount of suckerage that is out there I'm sure they're the same people that give into that critical race theory and cry because they were born white, like you could do anything about it. Oh my God, my privilege! I have to go help out and clean out the taro fields in Hawaii. That's going to be my penance, and I'll happily pay $55 for it.
Right. Incredible. And by the way, I tell my students all the time, in Europe, if you backpack through Europe, there are places in Europe where you can work on the farm for a day. They give you free room and board. So it's a real cheap way of, working your way, work a few hours a day on a farm, and then, they basically give you food and everything to do it. And so that's a little bit of a better deal.
I don't think these guys get anything. I think they just pay and they do the slave labor for the Kualoa Ranch, and then they jump in the ocean or swim in a stream. That's how you're going to get clean and then go back to your hotel all stinky.
Incredible.
I know. And the crazy thing is that there are people that are willing to pay for that kind of thing. We've got everybody so brainwashed, and the Kualoa Ranch is going to suffer because of climate change unless we get these little pink haole kids in there to clean up the taro fields, so we don't have to.
Wow.
It's okay. We're going to take the taro. We're going to make that pretty pink taro pancakes like the kind you get at Touré. Where do you think that comes from? What, bro? You think that grows on trees? Well, kind of sort of does. Anyway, I thought that was interesting. Interesting conversation a little bit earlier with Attorney General Doug Moreland. Well, not yet confirmed Attorney General Doug Moreland, and you keep an eye on this kind of thing. Do you think that he's got anything to worry about? He sounds awful confident, but do you think that in the final analysis, after we count up all of the ballots, the provisionals that have been vetted and are allowed to go through, and then, of course, the off-island ones, think it'll have an outcome on the AG race?
If I recall, and I haven't checked lately, it's between 300 and 500 votes.
It's 77 votes between them.
No, I'm talking about those that are pending to be counted.
Oh, yeah, I think that might be the number. Yeah.
Yeah, all else equal, a 77 vote count. We have 300 pending. I think he's well positioned. You can never tell for sure, but that's a fairly good positioning given that small number of pending. And that's assuming that the recount, which is a mandatory recount at 2%, will be the same, which I'm pretty sure it will. The electronic voting is pretty accurate. The electronic counting process is pretty accurate.
Yeah. So we'll watch and see how it plays out. I don't know that I don't know. It just feels like it's a 50-50 thing at this point.
Yeah, it could go either way. You're right, but I think that 77 votes isn't like low under 25, low margins where you really are watching it really closely. I think that he has a bit more of a cushion than that. And this is one of those elections where every vote counted. And people, I'll just vote and it won't matter. No, this vote mattered. This election mattered.
Well, Troy and I were talking about that a little bit. Not Troy, but Sean Gumatauta and I were talking about it. And, a point can be made that because the voter turnout in the general election was so low, does anybody really have a mandate? Do we have really the will of the people represented by the outcome of this election?
Yeah, well, after the election settled down, it's all confirmed and everything else, we should maybe do a whole show on just the shenanigans that went on this election season in all kinds of races. Just outright, craziness that nobody really knows about. I know about it because I follow really closely, but it was just really to the detriment of the average citizen from a civic sense.
I need you to be a little bit more specific.
That basically,
give me something I can chew on.
When voters vote, and the Guam legislature, and we've talked about this several times on your show already before the election, fully intended that at the general election there just be 2 candidates only for the AG. If you go back to the record, you read the name of the bill, you read the name of the law, that it was to ensure a majority of votes for the AG. And then the election commission ends up permissively allowing this running guy to really disrupt that concept, and that's unfortunate.
Well, he didn't do anything illegal.
True, but I mean, again, it just is an example of how weak our structures are, that we go through an entire long and drawn-out process back in 2006 to try to ensure, something like a majority, and then we end up having a third party, many years later, disrupt that concept, even though it's very basic in the law itself.
I'm get one of my listeners, Jose Martinez, online on Facebook saying, Mick Nitch, call out the LGT campaign manager, Respicio, for attacking your intentions for the great debate. Defend yourself, sir.
Sure. Rory Respicio is one of the finest senators I ever worked with in the legislature. Politics is politics. Campaigns are campaigns. He's truly a genuine fine person, and I respect him very much. Yeah, I didn't even hear what he said about me. If anybody, I really don't care. But in general, my opinion of him is very high, and I have a lot of respect for him.
All right. Well, it had to do with your intentions and your plans behind the great debate, et cetera. I can barely recall what it is either. Jose, if you remember, write it out, because it's one of those things, almost ancient history now. When we start thinking about it, I think there will be, in another 4 years, people will say, "Oh yeah, the debate that didn't happen," like it made any significant difference one way or the other.
Yeah, and again, I think there are a lot of lessons learned for everybody. In this election season, I think one of the things is,
well, wouldn't it be interesting if one of the things that we learned from this election season was how the debates did not do anything. I don't know that they moved the needle in any direction for either of the camps.
And to be blunt, I mean, when everything's done and everything's signed and sealed, I'll talk to you about what I know a little bit about the effect of the debates for this election season. And that is, sometimes when people do talk, it doesn't help them, it hurts them.
Yeah. Jose says it wasn't the politics, it was a personal attack. He said you were only in it for the money.
Yeah, there was no money. All funds related to the great debate are handled by an office at the university. I never see any of it. But I also appreciate a healthy scrutiny of anybody handling money like that. There's nothing wrong with scrutinizing how money's handled. Yeah.
Okay. Final comment from Jose. Let's stop being squishy or being given a megaphone on the radio. McNitch, utilize it.
Guam's a wonderful community. The elections are over, and I'll tell you, let's expect more out of our elected leaders. Let's work with the point and really hold our leaders' feet to the fire on making our community better every day.
Wow. It will be interesting to try to achieve that as a goal, primarily because I think one of the things that we're going to be watching more closely in the next few days, next couple of weeks really, between now and inauguration, is how we will see some of these heretofore political unknowns begin to reveal more of their character. As we get closer and closer to inauguration, introduction of first bills, etc. I think we've seen. I know for at least some of our viewers here, maybe we've seen enough out of Won't Parkinson, not Will Parkinson, but Won't Parkinson. It'll be fun to watch and see what happens after the selection, if you will, of the leader of the legislature. Who is going to be the speaker? Does Therese get to keep that job? Will Tina get that job back? Will there be a coalition versus another coalition, and have to come up with some kind of compromise speaker?
Well, just a couple of things. There is no such thing as a lame duck legislature. There's only a dead duck legislature. That is, as long as they're alive and kicking, no man is safe while the legislature's in session. And as much as people want to say, oh, it's over and they need to move on, no, they can't, up until the very, very end, do any number of things. And I remember back in 1996, the legislature passed a bill, and then the Republicans, even though they could have left the bill alone and let it set or reheard it, they resurrected it and sent it forward to the governor. And the governor even asked, don't you know that this bill is from the previous legislature? You didn't have to forward it to me. and right. And it ended up becoming law, and even today we're having to deal with the consequences of those kinds of acts. So you got to be really careful about expecting things out of, don't call people lame ducks, because they're not lame, they're still alive.
No, the crux of a conversation that Will Parkinson maybe accidentally started. He wanted the legislature to hold off on any conversations about the Heartbeat Act until the new legislature was sworn in to let them handle it, because he felt it was put an off color on the measure if it was going to be dealt with by a handful of people that won't be returning into the new legislature. As lame ducks.
From a politics standpoint, though, if he really didn't like the Heartbeat Act, he should want these people to talk about it and show what their true colors are, because he should know the governor would veto it anyway. And then you find out exactly where people's dispositions and arguments are.
Well, I think we already know where they are. and trust me, if it does come up, we're not going to have decisions made by members of any legislature. The decision is going to be, we're going to punt this to the voters. If anything other than that happens, I'll eat a bug.
And you would get good video of them saying these kinds of things. Right now, it's just kind of trying to read the tea leaves and everything else. But you get them in the session, get them, saying what they're trying to say, wherever their positions are, you can hold them to it. And so I like video. I like to see them actually make their argument where you have it, taped, and you can keep a copy of it.
Concur. 9:30 in the morning. Well, we got the video of you saying all those things about Rory. So I just want to see if throw that in there. See if somebody goes, well, what did he say? What did he say?
I want to tell everybody, I have known Rory for like 25 years, and he was one of the youngest members of the Gutierrez administration. He had all kinds of enthusiastic high hopes. He helped me so much at the university with my students. I have nothing negative to say about Rory at all.
Yeah, well, I mean, heat of politics, right? Listen, I'm gonna run. I'll talk to you later, because there are a couple of things that I'm going to defend myself. Donna Mila says, remember the debate where Ginger silenced all the men in the commentary panel with the orifice that had no door? The loyal watchers were wondering where their balls went. And then she says, well, Ray actually could be forgiven for remaining silent in front of the face, as it was a night when he'd rather have a beer relaxing. Truth of the matter is, yes, it was a night that I was supposed to be at my cousin Freddie's fundraiser over at Tower of London. Didn't make that because I was over at the debate. But when it became very, very clear that Ginger was going to hog the mic as an all-in mouthpiece, that's when I got in there and started, in the very least, to try to defend Sabrina's reputation. My God, 25 years at KUAM is unprecedented, coming from somebody whose career there, and I thought I was a lifer, it was spanned just 5 years in the late 70s and early 1980s. I think that has to be said, and so I think I did my part by getting up and defending as much as possible much of the Camacho administration. Everybody else, yeah, guilty. They just kind of let her ramble.
Well, Ray, you love to see a good cat fight anyway. But the thing is, I've got to say that Sabrina's a wonderful, smart lady. I worked with her many years at KUAM. You know what? Ginger's just fun, too. This is all politics. This is political talk and during political time. So, yeah, sometimes it's fun to hear people speak, in things that we can talk about.
No. I thought there was a part where I thought we were going to go in order, but she just kept going. And so for me, it was somebody needed to get up there and stand in to cover the gap, and I took it upon myself. 9:33 in the morning. I'm going to let you go. You have a great day, all right?
All right, man. You're too much of a gentleman, Ray.
My friend's no different. Well, wait a second. My other friend's no different. It's at 9:33 in the morning. The truth of the matter is, I find myself, even though I shouldn't, I don't want to say their apologies as much as their statements. Every once in a while, I'll say something to somebody, and they'll go, "Oh wow, did that just come out of your mouth?" And I'll say, "Hey, look, I'm a gentleman from a different era and a whole different time. I'm kind of I'm one of the throwbacks here." And they said, "Yeah, but every once in a while, you should think about the things that come out of your mouth." Trust me, I did, and I still meant to say it. When we're taking our selfies, I want more cleavage in the shot. Is there something wrong with that? I mean, what?
Baby, it's cold outside.
Exactly. I'm Pika's best. I can get away with it. You can't cancel me. 9:34. Ray Gibson Show continues right after these.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pika's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Half a day, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
Choice Broadcasting has done it again.
Votes are in and we hit the trifecta.
93.3 The Point, Pika's best radio station.
Kyle Mandapat, Pika's best radio personality.
Daryl Azama, Pika's best DJ.
The stations of Choice Broadcasting say thanks for all your votes and support.
Congratulations to all of Pika's best nominees.
If you're an advertiser, find out what our best can do for you and your business.
Call 671-888-7346 for information, rates, and packages, and let us get your message out to Pika's best listeners with Pika's best broadcasters. I got you. Have you heard that there's a bunch of different ways to order your sandwiches now over at the Subway Sandwich Place? The Subway Series is what it's called. All-new menu of 12 chef-inspired sandwiches now available at all Subway locations here and in Saipan. Enjoy a whole new way to Subway. Simply order any Subway Series by name or number. And the Subway sandwich artists will do the rest. At Subway, eat fresh. Yeah. Oh, this is encouraging. I got a note here from, let's see, my hot tubs and taco people.
Yeah. Are you admin on that chat?
No.
No. Of course not. They wouldn't let you.
No. But it's one of a handful of groups that I have not muted permanently. You know, because you can mute it for an hour, like 8 hours, or until I unmute it. Right? They're one of the groups I actually kind of want to hear from. So over the weekend, for Miami's birthday, we did a taco thing. And so went to the store, got all the taco fixins, and I don't tell my daughter, but I was doing that as a dry run for a taco thing that I want to do with the taco crew that I've got. And as I said, for the most part, it worked out. The only can I just tell you? I don't often have disappointments, and I rarely ever talk about them on the radio. But I don't know what I did. I was trying to get. So I got some dark meat chicken. And so I coated it, and I put some chili powder stuff on it, like the packet, right? The taco seasoning. I put the taco seasoning on it, and a little bit of kind of a Creole seasoning that went on that as well. And you know what? I put it on the fire, and then it came out, and it still tasted pretty much like chicken. I wanted it to take on. I wanted it to have like a chicken taco flavor, and it just didn't come out. What do you like more aji or something? Should I have put Ajinomoto in
more umami
in the thing?
Yes.
More umami was the. But anyway, so I'm probably not going to make any of that stuff again. All right, 888. There it is. Now I'm looking at all the comments here on the Facebook and all of this other stuff, and somebody's saying, this is talk radio, for goodness sakes. We need less political eunuchs. It's talk radio. The answer to your question is 888-8255, 888-TALK. I got it. Let me be real about this, guys. You know I love you, but it's one thing to make a comment on the Facebook Live, but if somebody's being a political eunuch or not cutting clear to what it is that you want them to cut clear to, it doesn't help to say it there. There will be more of a reaction if you call in. Now, I don't always make a big deal about, hey, you got to call in the radio station all the time. I got to go from one caller to another, 18 lines, and all of them are blinking at me and all. Because it's never really mattered that much to me. I can carry a show for 4 hours with just me and a producer and a handful of notes, like, did you know it's Start Your Own Country Day? More on that in a second. But, if you hear somebody and you're going, oh, my God, that's limp, you're more than welcome to call in and give them what for, give me what for. Love the conversation. Love the back and forth. Let me see. 9:39. As we move through the program here, I'm trying to figure out, we were talking earlier about public health emergency. And it looks like we're going to keep that going until the last possible minute. Now, originally, the governor's executive order was telegraphing a date of January the 11th for the expiration of the national public health emergency. But last week, the Biden administration and the White House began the process of maybe thinking about adding another 3 months or so, another quarter, taking that into April or so for the federal public health emergency. And I don't know where I am on that one. I mean, it's a federal government. They're printing money and causing inflation and all of that stuff for whatever the purposes are. But getting back to Guam, if the public health emergency is extended nationally, does that automatically mean that ours will be extended nationally? And does it need to be? Now, I don't know if the state of Hawaii is under a public health emergency. I don't believe that they are, but they have extended the COVID emergency for food stamps. Governor Iggy signed a 5th emergency proclamation extending Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program emergency allotment benefits through January 16th of 2023, obviously backed by federal COVID relief funding. So they can do that there without being in a public health emergency. Why can't we do the same thing here? Is a question that I've kind of I've been asking myself. Is there a way that we can figure out like everybody wants to figure out how they got the election done in one night in Florida, and can we teach the other states how to do that so that they can get the count and we'll know who's in charge of the Senate before it gets to be Christmas? Please, something like that. And so what is it that they're doing there? The reasoning that they've got is food insecurity, just one of the lingering effects of the pandemic, and SNAP benefits provide Hawaii families with nutritious food. This emergency proclamation provides additional food security through the holidays. Yeah. What are we getting? Tomahawks, man.
I'm laughing, man.
Tomahawks and Alaska king crabs, ding-dongs, ho-hos. Yeah, you ever see the cart after it's all filled up and you go, what in there is delicious for sure. I don't know about nutritious and healthy. Wasn't there a time that there was a very specific number of things that you could buy with those food stamps? Now you can buy pretty much everything in the grocery store with your SNAP card, and they don't even care if you take that. Instead of taking it to your house, you take that to the restaurant down the street and sell them your good tomahawk steaks, and they'll pay you, and you didn't have to work for it. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm told that it's done. Anyway, I thought it was an interesting story that they're going to be continuing with that. Is it possible that we could end the public health emergency here and just extend, as they have, this one part of the program using the federal funds that are there? Of course, somebody over at the governor's office will, oh, no, we can't do any of that stuff. Wonder what's going to be, wonder what we'll find out when it's all said and done and there's a final accounting. And I'm also concerned that there won't be a final accounting. I got a feeling that they're going to say, well, there's just so much money that was out there, so many sticky fingers, so many opportunities for graft and corruption. We would need all 87,000 of those people in the government of Guam, maybe not with the IRS, but working with Treasury to see what can be done about that. And then what's going to be done about it, right? I mean, we had, how many cases did we have out here? Has anybody done any real time on any of that? What about the guys that were able to take like their PPP money and buy, I don't know, Maseratis with them? I mean, it actually happened. And there were all kinds of other cases like that all around the country where people figured out how to, scam the system. And it's just so much trouble to be able to, do the investigations. Are we ever going to get the money back? No. What are we going to do with the Ferrari? We don't need a Ferrari in the federal government. So they're just all of that stuff's just going to let go. Kind of makes you feel like, wow, maybe we should have figured out how to get our share, how to scam ourselves out of that federal money.
Yeah, regrets, Ray. Regrets.
I know. There's that old song. 9:43.
They would have forgave us, man.
Well, it's like here. It's like here. You know, I'm the grand jury guy, and the guy, you know, the attorney general's office comes over, and they give me, you know, dudes with from the police department, and they will say, this guy here did this, and he did that, and he's admitted to it. Okay, well, if he's admitting it to it, okay, I'm going to true bill this guy, and then see what happens. And in so many of these cases that we've true billed back to the regular courthouse, I just don't know that there's really anybody that's doing any serious time for this. And the number of people that we get on a regular basis that are also being, you know, committing a felony while they're on a felony release is amazing as well. So I just don't have the sense that there's going to be any of that kind of justice, you know, Harvey Weinstein kind of justice, where you want to like what's his name, Bill Cosby. We want him in jail. Okay. What about the drug dealers and the rapists? Nah, not so much them. Nah, I guess they're okay. You know, they're victims of society. They're raised on the wrong side of the tracks. What can I say? 9:44. I started to say something about Jesse Lujan earlier, did I not? And then I was distracted by something.
Slow news day.
I gotta get him a copy of this story here. It's in the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii, and it makes the claim, and I agree, it's a perfect time to cut taxes. Now, I won't read you the entire thing. A lot of it is Hawaii politics and Hawaii money. It says, Thanksgiving is on our doorstep and Christmas just around the corner, but everything is not joyful. Oh, my God. Today's the 22nd.
No.
And then there's 25 days. It's almost exactly 1 month away.
Ooh, bonuses.
No bonuses.
What?
Yeah, no, you know how I'm going to get you your bonus? I'm going to find.
I knew it, man.
I'm going to find 10 brave souls at the legislature that will back up the business privilege tax to 4. I'd like it to go to 3, but settle for 4. Anyway. Considering Hawaii's high cost of living and the nation's record inflation, many Hawaii families are taking a hard look at their finances and calculating how inflation and recession will affect their holiday plans, if not their entire economic future. Parenthetically, this is my addition. They're getting on planes and leaving Hawaii. That's what's happening. There is some good news. According to the article, Hawaii has a state budget surplus of about $2 billion. That's expected to grow to about $10 billion in the next 4 years. It also has, they have a rainy day fund. They've also got $800 million in the rainy day fund. So why do they have to have so many damn taxes? Just start with that one there. Why do we have to have so many darn taxes? We got, $100 million in record collections that we had from last year in the taxes, plus all that federal money that we still haven't figured out how we're going to spend. Now is a great time to reduce the taxes here on Guam. Now, the article goes on to talk about exempting medical services from the state general excise tax. Not only would it help lower our health care costs, it would also help address the shortage of medical professionals in our states. Good idea. Good idea, and maybe something that we ought to consider here. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to sign and share the Grassroots Institute of Hawaii's petition. We ought to have a petition like that out here so that we can send thousands of names, digital signatures, to members of the 36th Guam legislature. Wouldn't that be great if that was their silent goodbye? Do I need to explain the concept again? Okay, when it's just you in the elevator, fart. And then when the door opens, just walk out and wait for people to come back in. There's something satisfying about that, and it's called the silent goodbye. Wouldn't that be great if that was the silent goodbye of the 36th Guam legislature to Governor Lulian Guerrero on the eve of her own inauguration to the second term? Yeah, you know what? You've been dealt all aces financially in the government of Guam. So here's what we're going to do. We're gonna make those savings pay off for all of the taxpayers that voted us in to do this one nice thing for them. And we're going to eliminate the business privilege tax on groceries. We are going to eliminate the business privilege tax and any other taxes on medicine, medical equipment that all of our diabetic families need. You know how expensive wheelchairs are? It's not like you can just go to Payless and get one of their carts and put your family member in there. You got to go and get yourself a whole system. And we ought to make it so that any changes on the construction of a house to deal with somebody that now all of a sudden is wheelchair bound, that ought to come with there ought to be automatic building automatic building plans, permits issued for things like that, and no BPTs, business privilege taxes on anything that you buy to be able to do that construction. Baby stuff, baby formula, baby diapers, for heaven's sakes. These are things that nature has given us, and why does the government of Guam need to make any kind of money on it? And they said, well, but the government of Guam is going to have to do the same job with less money. And the answer is no, that's not true. It's basic economics. If I save money over here on my groceries, I'm probably going to go and buy something else for which there is a business privilege tax that is levied against it. Now, I know there might be out there one of you lefties, one of you Guamese Democrats that goes, hey, man, but they did a law and 90% of the businesses don't pay that business privilege tax because they don't make enough money. And my answer has always been, I don't shop there. As much as I'd like to, I don't shop at that place. And even though I might not, when I do shop there, there are employees that work there, and they're paying withholding taxes on that kind of thing. The government of Guam is going to get its share of the cash. So by all means, go ahead, and we don't need to have these taxes in place. And tell you what, if you don't like it, maybe another legislature can come back in and fix it for you. 9:50 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. That's what they're talking about in Hawaii. I like the idea that the Grassroots Institute has put together some kind of petition, and maybe that's what needs to get done around here. And so I urge you, everybody on the Facebook Live, number one, thanks for hanging out with me all day. Number two, wouldn't that make a nice project? Go to change.org or wherever it is that they've got these online petitions. Put one together and basically take the Ray Gibson doctrine and put it out there and see what happens. See, oh boy, and see the what do you call it? The oppressors come out. That's where you're going to get the hate. That's usually what happens. Why you want to do this? Don't you realize the government's not going to be able to do this? We're not going to be able to, all these people we're not going to be able to pay. All these services that we can't do. And the answer to that is, well, maybe it's time that we prioritize all of those things. And for more on that kind of conversation, I urge you to check out Bob Klitsky. His program begins at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Brine your chicken for 2 to 3 hours with some of those spices, then apply your dry rub, and then you'll be good.
Oh, brine.
Hadn't thought about that.
Nice, Cause.
Oh, and Dave Sablon says, and pass the waste to energy. Thank you very much. No, you're right. This is a conversation that one of these days we'll finish it. I don't know if I got time right now because usually it's a long call with Dave. But yesterday there was a lot of conversation about a measure over at the legislature that would make it so that, and it's not a terrible idea, it would allow for a conversation about spread out generation, right? Distributed generation. Right now, we've got centralized generation.
Virtual, yeah?
Right. So right now, we've got centralized generation for power. We have power plants. And we got a place that does, solar over there and whatever. But the idea is that we would use rooftops, buildings, businesses, rooftops. I mean, you think about somebody like the top of Home Depot. Can you imagine how many solar panels you could put on something like that? The roof of Ambrose out in Harmon. In fact, most of those rooftops, how we might be able to do something like that. You know, they want to talk about a covered parking area over at Guam Memorial Hospital. Well, I want to say that the hospital in Palau has some covered carports there, and they use the covers for some place to make solar electricity. So we distribute the electrical generation around the entire island. There's still some deals that need to be made, conversations about technology, who buys the technology, do we pay the rooftop guy, do we give him a share of the electricity? I mean, this is why we hire guys over at the PUC and CCU and the legislature. But there's an easier and an almost shovel-ready concept that's out there right now, and that is waste to energy. And you think about all of the stuff that's in your trash can right now, 99% of it can be burned. And if you burn something, you put it underneath the boiler with some water in it. The water turns into steam. Steam turns a turbine. Turbine makes electricity. And then you don't have to worry about burying the trash. You don't have to worry about cells. You don't have to worry about the leachates and things like that. We're burning everything that goes into this maw of this hungry, hungry beast, and we're going to make electricity out of it. Why aren't we having that conversation at the legislature? I just don't understand. Studio time, 9:53. I'll return in a moment.
Subway just dropped an all-new menu of 12 sandwiches. They call it the Subway Series.
The Subway Series has 4 new categories of subs: cheesesteaks, Italianos, chicken, and clubs.
With a sandwich series like that, I'll be a happy Subway cereal eater.
And Subway has a new way of ordering, too. You can order the Subway Series sandwiches by name or by number.
So I can just say number 5 for the Bella Mozza? Hey, that's a whole new way to Subway.
You could, but the better choice, number 8, the Great Garlic.
It's the new Subway Series. What's your pick?
Family Finance has been serving the people of Guam since 1959, and they will continue to be there for you in the years to come. Whether you're looking to get a personal loan for that summer vacation or paying off those long overdue bills, Family Finance has got you covered. Apply for a personal loan from $1,000 up to $4,100 by calling Family Finance in Hagåtña at 671-475-4545, Upper Tumon 671-647-5626, or in Dededo 671-633-4473.
Federal employees and annuitants, it's time to choose your 2023 health plan. Choose Take Care. Open season is November 14th through December 12th. Take Care's on-island network includes GRMC, SDA, GRC, FHP, and over 1 million providers off-island with positive benefit enhancements that expand access to care. Go to takecareasia.com/open-season-22 or call 671-647-3526. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Okay, got it. 9:55 Ray Gibson Show brought to you by the guys over at Wendy's. Something they want you to try for breakfast: the bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant, or sausage, egg, and Swiss croissant. Small seasoned potatoes come with that, and it's only $4. They got the eggs that they crack open for you freshly, and oven baked bacon or savory sausage. Is that their secret? It's oven baked bacon? Huh. Hot and crispy potatoes, you're not going to want to put it down. It's got it all, and it's only $4. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's. Okay, let me see. It starts your own country day. Can I make this an entire week? Can we just, because it'd take me a week to get through all of this stuff. I'd only seen it this morning. I've only seen the blurb here this morning, and the problem is I had too many other things. I have so many mind right now. I've got too many mind, and I'm not able to put this together, but I really think it would be a fun exercise, if you could, to start your own country. Now, never mind the fact that we'd have to make a deal right now. I mean, immediately, we'd have to make a deal with the United States of America, because I don't have a Navy. Or Air Force or Marines or any of that stuff. You know, maybe put together a militia. I don't actually want to mint any money, so let's take what they've got, stamp, same thing. We could keep Tammy Post Office and all of her folks, right? Any of the federal stuff that's going on right now, probably end up keeping. Defense and all of that kind of thing. But if we had our own country, I mean, some of the things that we'd be able to do around here, and again, some of this will go back to the conversation that we had the other day about how Guam wasn't as hung up on things as it is now, right? It's like everybody's got some kind of hang up. Everybody wants to be a do-gooder about something, and you know what? You just can't control people. You don't even have the enforcement power to control people. Just let them do what they want to do. You want to have fireworks? You know what? I got an ex-wife lives up in Seattle. Not too far away from a reservation.
Oh, yeah.
We're good enough friends. We're good enough friends that I could call her up and say, do me a favor, you and your brother go, you and your new husband, you guys go to the reservation and go get fireworks and put them in the mail and send them to me here on Guam, and she'd do it.
Yes, Roman candles.
Exactly. Whatever. It just got to go boom. Know what I mean? And lights and sparkly things. I could do something like that if I wanted to. So I'll let people just do whatever it is that they want to do, as long as nobody like that's not associated with it gets hurt. That's why I don't like the shooting the gun thing up in the air, because the bullets go up, the bullets eventually come down. People have been injured by things like that didn't want to have anything to do with your celebration. You want to do a celebration, and there's a likelihood, pretty good one, that you might lose a finger in the process. Oh, well, sucks to be you. But you do you. It's like with the helmet laws. You remember all the times they'd go through the helmet laws? And the ridiculous one now is if you ride a motorcycle, there's no law here that says you must wear a motorcycle helmet. Completely up to you. Right? It's the one thing that we're not hung up about. But the same legislature, I want to say, did a law that said that if you ride a bicycle, you have to wear a bicycle helmet.
Yeah, I wear it. I get pulled over if I didn't wear it.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm going, well, wait a second. There's a logical connection between one decision and another, and it got missed. So that's what, if it was my own country, I would say that if you want to wear a helmet, you can wear a helmet. If you don't want to wear a helmet, whether you're on a motorcycle, a moped, or a bike, I leave that completely up to you. Because I believe in personal responsibility. That's the way I was raised. You climb the top of the building and you fall down and you break your neck, it's your own fault. We'll be sad, but we'll eventually give other kids your toys and other kids your clothes.
That's what you get.
I want to get rid of the sin tax on booze and cigarettes. Again, who you hurting? And then the other. Oh yeah, and that solved all of the hospitals' problems since we've had the sin tax in places. And while I'm at it, just for fun, I want to go back to letting 18-year-olds drink again. Say what you want to about mental development and things like that. I'm a pretty good example of all of that crap that happened back in those days before they made the laws, and I turned out kind of okay. You and I spend hours together, so it must be true. I got to break away. I got Fox News coming up. I got a computer to fix. You have a great day. Check us tomorrow.
Hey, freight trains across the country could stop moving.
The largest rail union, SMART-TD, rejected White House-backed labor deal without publicly detailing why.
What's your plan to avert a national railway strike?